We are live. We are live.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. So you're welcome to the Lightyear Advantage, an event by the School of Lumen. And I'm glad to have all of you here. It's going to be a very interesting evening, and you should be grateful that you are here tonight. So if you are seeing me and you can hear me, kindly share this event with your friends and family because it's about to be a very, very, very interesting one. You're going to be enlightened. You're going to learn a lot about the School of Lumen and then the Lightyear Advantage. Everything you're going to do this year is going to be transformed after you listen to this particular event. So if you can hear me, let's get ready because you're about to start. I'm going to take you through the line of events for the day. So we're going to have the welcome introduction. I'm going to talk about the School of Lumen, what it's about. And we're going to have the main speaker of the event, the founder of the School of Lumen, who is going to give his keynote speech on the Lightyear Advantage as to exactly what it's about. You know, Lumen actually means what? Light in Latin. So be ready to be inspired by biblical scriptures, backed up by scientific knowledge and everything that you can think of. We're going to have an interactive section where we're going to ask some few questions, and you're going to ask questions that you have based on the event. You're going to answer you, and then you're going to wrap up. It's going to be a 2 hours event, nothing more than that. You're going to make sure that we buy time. So share the event, and then we are about to start. So I know most of you are asking, what does it mean when we say the Lightyear Advantage? Is there anyone here who has had like a thunderstorm when it is raining? What do you see first? Do you see the light or do you hear the thunderstorm first? If you can hear me, kindly answer me in the chat. Type in your answers in the chat for me. Let me see something. Okay, you are here. That is great. Okay, that is amazing. So you see lightning. Okay, that is great. Nora, thank you for that. So what else do you see? I want to see your answers, please. Do you see lightning first or do you hear the thunder first? The light. Okay, I want to hear more of that. More replies, please. Can I see some fire emojis? More fire emojis if you're here. Light first. That is interesting. You see the light. That's great. That's great. Okay, so no one's here the thunder first, right? Thunder. Okay. Okay, Phyllis says thunder. Light first. Okay. Okay. That is nice to hear. That is nice to hear. Lightning, light travels faster than the sound. Thunder. Ebenezer, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that, Ebenezer. Okay, so that is true. If it is raining and there is a thunderstorm, first of all, you see the light before you hear the thunder. That is because light travels faster. And then for sound, it needs a medium, which is air to travel. So usually you see the light before you hear what? The thunder sound. That is what tonight is about. You're about to be transformed and turned into light. Wherever you go, you're going to be seen before you are heard. There's going to be an aura, a light around you that wherever you step, after tonight. Okay, after tonight, wherever you step, you're going to be seen first before you are heard. So thank you all so much for that. And you're welcome once again to the Light Year Advantage. The Light Year Advantage. So if you're in the comment section again, let me hear you say what? Speed. Let me hear you type in speed. Type speed for me if you're here. Let me hear speed. Type speed for me in the comment section if you're here. Type speed, please. If you can hear me, type speed in the comment section. Xander, thank you. Thank you so much. Nora, speed. Tonight's about to be speed, speed. So please, tell a friend, tell another friend that tonight is a night of transformation, a night of speed. After this particular event, everything you're going to do is about speed. 2025 is going to be a year of speed. Nothing is going to change. Everything is going to be great. Everything is going to be amazing. So type speed for me if you can see me and you can hear me. Evans, thank you. iFire Creations, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to say something brief about the School of Lumen. As you all know, today we are launching the School of Lumen alongside our event, the Light Year Advantage. I know some of you are already thinking, what does the School of Lumen mean? What is this particular thing about? So the School of Lumen is a community that is about personal development and transformation. We are here to create a new visionary and generation of individuals who think differently. And how do we do this? We do this by events such as what we are having right now, both in person and online webinar. We do book reading, And my romance girl is in the house. The romance girl is. But this time we are not going to be reading romance. We're going to be reading what self-help and then self-development books, which is going to transform the way you think, going to shape your life, and everything you're going to do is be better. You're going to be different from the individuals you see around, from the mass. That is what the School of Women is about. And then we do that and we sponsor our events by selling digital products. So we are here, join our community, and everything you're going to learn, you're going to read more books. You're going to learn about how to transform your life, applicable and practical tips, which our founder is going to share tonight, and teach you also about the Light Year Advantage. So that is what the School of Women is about. Now it is time for me to introduce our speaker for this particular event. I know most of you already know him. That is why you are here in the first place, because you've seen the flyer, you've seen the videos about the events going live. So I'm not going to say much. But this particular person is a great public speaker, the greatest Gen Z public speaker you come across. If you listen to this guy or this man and your life is not transformed and you've not changed, then promise me that it wasn't his event. He is a coach, an entrepreneur who runs his business very well. He's a great public speaker who is always educating people, teaching people about how to transform their lives. He has done this in the lives of so many people. Personally, I've learned a lot from this person. If you love how I moderate or how I speak, it is because of him. So many tips on self-development, public speaking, entrepreneurship, relationships, and everything you can think of. So with fire emojis in the comment section and everything you can think of, more emojis, more speed, help me welcome our guest speaker and the founder of this community, the School of Lumen, Paa Kwesi Folson. Please, let me see some fire emojis because our guest speaker is about to talk. Let's welcome Paa Kwesi Folson to the stage, please. Let me see some fire emojis. Let me see some fire emojis while we welcome our speaker. Let me see some fire emojis, please. Let's welcome our speaker, Paa Kwesi Folson. More fire emojis,
Okay.
please.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you, Folson. So please, over to you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Wow. I really can't believe we are here today having this event already. Super wonderful, fantastic, everything. Wow. Thank you, Clenam. Clenam, Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so it's the School of Lumen lunch, and I'm so excited. I can't begin to even tell you how excited I am for this day. It has been a long time coming. In fact, in 2022, somewhere in 2022, we had decided to launch the community. And we had created the group, we had created the community page and everything. And all of a sudden, I just felt in my spirit that it wasn't time. So, because of that, I had to put a halt on the activities. And we didn't launch School of Lumen in 2022. In 2023, I was like, nah, I have to do this thing. I still didn't feel a release. 2024, I felt the same thing. I still didn't feel a release. It was only at the latter part, in October specifically, when God was able to give me the release in my spirit for the School of Lumen. Okay, so without further ado, let's do two things first of all. First of all, I want us to just take a screenshot of us being live, add the link, and then post it on your status and say live. Put on your status, your story, anywhere that you believe that you have an audience. Just post and say live. I'm telling you, this event is going to change somebody's life. This event is going to change somebody's life. I want us to keep it going. So let's take a screenshot. Just take a screenshot, nothing more. A screenshot of the link. Let's get more people to join. Okay? Let's get more people to join. I'm going to do that myself. So let's do that together. Okay? I'm going to do that myself. So let's do that together. Right? Let's do that together. I'm going to do it myself. So let's all share it. Let's take a screenshot and say live. Take a screenshot and let's say live. When you're done, you just type done in the comment section so that we all know that we are here. Today, I'm going to ascend into a lot of things. So get ready. Get ready. Get your notebook. Get your phone ready. Get everything ready. We're going to make magic today. Okay? So let's all type it live. Live. All right. So we are live. Perfect. Okay, I've just done mine. I'm doing this everywhere. Instagram. Thank you. I can see the numbers increasing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. Live. Right. Okay, perfect. All right. So the School of Lumen. I'm so excited for us to be having the School of Lumen. Just as Clenam has already introduced, the School of Lumen. Lumen is actually the Latin word for light. Light. Okay, light. Okay. Okay. I'm being told that there's an echo. I just hope there's no echo anymore. Can you guys hear the echo? Can anybody hear an echo? If you can hear an echo, just let me know. If it's fine, just let me know so I continue. Okay? Okay, perfect. Right, okay, thank you. All right, so the School of Lumen. Now, lumen means light in Latin. Now, the reason a lot of people don't know, but I've been into etymology. If you don't know what etymology is simply the study of the origin of words. Okay, so sometimes you can take a word, but every word has a past. So, light, the Latin for light, because English is derived from Latin and Greek. So light in Latin means lumen, or is lumen, okay? So essentially, this is the school of light. So everybody that comes to any of our programs, we have only one aim, okay? And that is to ensure that you are enlightened. Okay, so I don't want to go too deep into everything. I'm going to explain more about the School of Lumen. But for now, let's all just type in the comment section the light year advantage. Let me charge up a bit. The light year advantage. Can we just type that? The light year advantage. So today is the launch of the School of Lumen. And to commemorate this launch, we are going to have our event called the light year advantage. And that's what we're about to have. Okay, so let's all just type the light year advantage. Let's just type it. The light year advantage. I want to see it fill up the entire comment section. The light year advantage. 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 Let's all type it. The light year advantage. The light year advantage. Okay. No. All right. The light year advantage. The light year advantage. I want to see more comments. Everybody, the light year advantage. Let's type it more. More people. If you've typed it once, you can type it 3 times. I want it to be full. When I see that the energy is high, then I can start to ascend. So let's go. The light year advantage. I want to give us 1 minute. Let's all fill the entire comment section with the light year advantage. Let's all fill the entire comment section with the light year advantage. The light year advantage. The light year advantage. Thank you, Richmond. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, Abel. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Etonam. Thank you, Eulalia. Thank you, Rudolph. The light year advantage. The light year advantage. The light year advantage. The light year advantage. Okay. The light year advantage. All right. Perfect. So let's get into everything. I don't want to keep so long. So first of all, let me just talk a little bit more about the School of Lumen. I've already told you what Lumen is, but what we'll be doing in the School of Lumen. Okay, so the School of Lumen is not just a personal development community whereby we're just learning personal development stuff and all those things. Okay, it's a school, right? When I use the word school, I'm not just talking about you see, a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what a school is. When they think of school, the only thing they think about is a classroom whereby there are so many rules, so many things. This is not that, okay? This is the school of light. Light is what gives precedence to success, okay? Wherever you see success, is an evidence of light being there. Wherever you see success is evidence of light being there. Okay, that's what I want you to understand. Okay, so this is a school whereby we give you light so that you can be able to take that light and take it to the marketplace. So it's light for your life, but mainly light for the marketplace. So we are going to be teaching stuff from business to strategy to internet marketing. We're going to go deep into personal development, everything. We have an entire team, a team of about 20 something people who are going to be doing this alongside myself, and we're going to be impacting you as much as possible. Right now, our community has already scaled up to about, I think, nearly 400 people now in just like the past 48, 72 hours, and that's so massive. So we hope to be able to grow more, and we hope to be able to have a lot of impact on people. Now, this is only going to be the first event. We're going to have subsequent events, in-person events, where we're going to teach deep stuff, okay? Maybe how to be able to make your first 10,000 or your first $2,000 online. How would that impact your life if you learn something like that, okay? So it's not just about me, it's about you, okay? The light year advantage, the School of Lumen, is not about me, it's about you. We want to be able to give you the tools. We want to give you three things. We want to give you the mindset, we want to give you the skill set, and we want to give you the tool set. These are the three things. Okay? We want to give you the what? The mindset, we're going to give you the tool set, we're going to give you the skill set. So that's what we're going to do, okay? The mindset, the skill set, the tool set. So once you join our community, you're going to get all of these three things. We're going to help you to become the best version of yourself. I'm telling you, this is going to be a place whereby you cannot be mediocre. So that is the School of Lumen for you. So it's the School of Light. Please remember that Lumen is light. All right, so I don't want to keep so long starting. Let me just enter into what we have today. We have something called the light year advantage. Okay. All right. The light year advantage. My God. Before I start, let me sip some water. Okay. Okay. Just want to have my right. Okay, so the light year advantage, right? Okay, perfect. Sip water, baba. All right, so the light year advantage, guys. So first of all, I need to understand something. Okay, now first things first is that when we talk about light, right? So what we are going to do is three things. Okay, first of all, I'm going to divide this entire section into three main things. I'm going to explain something. Then I'm going to be explaining the concept of light. Then I'm going to be able to help you understand what light really is and why you need to be a light. Then afterwards, I'm going to give you the wisdom pieces in order for you to have a light year. I'm telling you guys, after you understand the light year advantage, the kind of speed you have in your life will be unprecedented. I remember some time, okay, I had just finished school. Few months after I finished school, probably like 4 or 5 months, I was already training companies. I had just finished school. I was training companies that were older than me, consulting with people, with managing directors and people who were, they would come for me and tell me that, oh, can you help me? Can you coach me on this? Can you do me? How did this all happen? It's not because I'm a magician, and it's not because of anything. It's not just about me. It's just because I understood something called the light. Once I understood the light, I realized that I will stop having ordinary years. Okay. Now the light year advantage is something that I discovered in 2022. Now for now that was just when I discovered what the light year advantage was. It was in 2022. I was in my room. I was just about to have my very first public speaking event, and as I was doing some readings and everything, and I realized that this thing that we call light, there's something inside. I was praying and God gave me the understanding of what it truly means to be a light. Ever since that time, I've experienced unprecedented type of growth in my life. I've always understood the power of light, but something called the light year advantage, it was something that I had to encounter deeply in 2022. Everything changed from there. The speed that I was moving with was something else. And I guarantee you that once you understand the light year advantage, the next years of your life will be the best of your life. What that means is that you will be on this earth and you will matter. You will be significant. Okay? You will be significant. Now let's get into everything. Okay. First things first. When we talk about light, what exactly do we mean? When we talk about light, what exactly do we mean? Now, in order for you to understand light, you have to be able to understand, in order for you to understand light, you have to understand how light came into being. Now, I'm not a pastor, by the way. I just want to say this. I'm not a pastor, but this session is going to be characterized by three things: practical to-dos, biblical revelations, and scientific insights. These three things. Okay. I'm not a pastor. But if you want to understand the power of light, you have to go deep into where light originated from. Now, when I look at different places, I cannot find where light originated from apart from when I look in Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 is where we first see the initiation of light to the world. Genesis chapter 1. So I want us to look at this, okay? Clenam, are you around? Clenam, are you around?
Yeah,
Clenam, are
hi,
you around?
Folson. Yeah, I'm around, Folson.
Okay. Can you help me read some scriptures, okay? So I'll just mention and then you just read them, all right?
Okay.
Okay. Now let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this, okay? Let's look at this. All right. All right. So let's look at this. Can you see my screen? I'm showing the Bible now. right? So Genesis chapter 1. Now it says over here, okay, so Clem, I'll call you maybe after some time, so now I'll call you to read some of the scriptures. Okay,
Okay.
now look at this. Genesis 1. It says this: in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Pay attention, okay? Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Look at this, okay? So God had created the heavens and the earth. Verse 2. It says over here, now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the face of the deep. So in verse 1, God had created the heavens and the earth. Verse 2, the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. Follow me carefully. Follow me carefully. All right. Verse 3, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. So the very first initiation of light was in Genesis 1, verse 3. Take note of this. Genesis 1, verse 3. This was the real initiation of light. Now I want you to understand something. Light was introduced, but why was light introduced? Now I'm telling you this I'm not trying to be a pastor or anything, but this is just where light originates from. Like if you think about it, whether from a Christian perspective, from whatever perspective you're looking at, light only originates from one place, and that's Genesis 1 verse 3. That is the initiation of light that we see, at least to the human eye, or to the best of human knowledge. Genesis 1 verse 3 is where light was first initiated. I just want you to pay attention carefully. Okay, pay attention to everything I'm about to show you. Now look at this. Light was initiated in Genesis 1 verse 3. But when light was initiated in Genesis 1 verse 3, it was initiated because of Genesis 1 verse 2. Now in Genesis 1 verse 2, there was something. You see, first, God had created an earth. He said he created the heavens and the earth. He had created something. But in verse 2, he came there, and then all of a sudden, the earth that he had created had problems. Pay attention. All of a sudden, the earth that he had created had problems. Now, the problems were in threefold. Listen carefully. First problem of this thing was the earth was formless. Number two, the second problem was that it was empty. In other words, without void, or was void, sorry, it was without form and it was void. So without form means that it was formless. That's the first problem. That's the first problem God encountered, that it was formless. Number two, it was empty. Number three, there was darkness that was all over the place. It was a threefold problem. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime that you have a problem, anytime that you want to create some success, you always encounter these three main problems in your life. Listen to me. This is not Christian knowledge. This is just knowledge for life. The Bible is not just a Christian book. It is a book for the way that you can live your life and operate your destiny. That's what I want you to understand. Now look at this. The word without form is in Hebrew. The Hebrew word for that word, or formless, is known as tohu. Tohu. It's known as what? Tohu. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I want you to just follow me, okay? I want you to follow me. It was known as what? Tohu. Number two, the word empty is known as bohu. So tohu va bohu. Okay, that's what it's called in Hebrew. That the earth was without form and void. These are the two things. I want you to listen. Follow me carefully. I'm about to enter something. Okay, so if you miss everything, every part of this, you're going to be in trouble. Follow me carefully, right? I want you to follow me carefully. So tohu and bohu. These are the two things. Now, formless means that the earth lacked structure. It lacked structure. Empty means that there was nothing inside of this. And the darkness, you can compare that to the lack of there was darkness all around. So that's what I'm saying. Now look at this carefully. Now God had encountered these three different type of problems. Now I'm telling you that anytime you have a problem in your life, or even time even time you're trying to go somewhere or create some form of success in your life, you encounter these three problems. It's either your life is without form, it's either it's empty, or it's either you have darkness. These three things. So if they say something is without form, that means that you lack structure. Number two, if they say it's empty, that means that you don't have the resources. That means that the earth lacked resources. So when they said that the earth was without form and was empty, it meant that the earth was without resources. So in your life, there are some people who want to start businesses, but they don't have resources, financial resources. How many of you have been there? Or how many of you are there? You have this idea, but you don't have resources. That is what you call emptiness. It is a problem. That is why you cannot be able to achieve your success, because it is a problem that you are facing. It's emptiness. It's not the problem is not from you. Resources has not start, the problem of resources did not start to you. It started at that time in Genesis 1, because the earth was empty, it lacked resources. The first problem was what? It had no structure. Number two, it had no resources. Number three, there was darkness. But now look at this interesting thing. So the very first problem was what? Formlessness. Second was emptiness. Third was darkness. But look at the interesting thing. Look at the order of the problem: formlessness, emptiness, darkness. But when God was trying to fix the problem, he did not start with fixing the formless problem. Neither did he start with fixing the emptiness problem. He started by fixing the darkness problem. Do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? Because he said what? And in Genesis 3, he could have said, okay, he's come to put resources inside the earth. But no, the very first thing that God decided to do was that he brought forth something called light. What that means for you is this: whenever you have a problem, whenever you are trying to succeed in something, you are trying to create a certain form of success, the very first thing that you need is not resources. You do not need to go to a bank and go and ask for a loan. The very first thing that you need to encounter is something called light. The moment you encounter light, and by light, what do I mean? I mean insights, I mean clarity, I mean direction. That is the very first thing that you need to encounter. So you see, for a lot of people, so that's why some people, they get resources, but because they have resources without light, they lose everything. Look at the people who win the lottery. Because their success was created absent of light. When they get the resources, because they had no light, the resources dissipated. Are you learning something? I'm beginning something. I don't want to keep so long into this. So resources are not the primary answer to your problems. The primary answer to your problem is light. You didn't catch that. Resources are not the primary answer to your problem. The very first thing that you need to do is you need to find light. The moment you get light, insight, direction, clarity, the moment you have those things, everything will change within your life. And that's what the School of Lumen is for. The School of Lumen is a place whereby we help you to find the light. Are you getting it? So God encountered a problem, but God wanted to create his own form of success, which was creating the earth all over again, so that it's not within. It doesn't have the problems of the form and the void, and doesn't have the problems of all those things that we encountered. The very first thing that God had to do in order to fix the state of the earth. So in order for you to create the success that you want, you need light. I just want you to understand that. Now let me move on, okay? Light. And I know that you've understood this. Light. So that is why light is so important. Because the success that you want to create, it is hidden within the mystery of light. Let me say that again. The success that you want to create is hidden within the mystery of light. In other words, it's hidden within the mystery of lumen. Thank you, Jesus. Anyway, so now that you understand that, I need you to understand something, okay? First of all, please, can we all type this? Success loves speed. Let's type this. Let's type this down inside the comment section. Success loves speed. Let's type this down. Success loves speed. Let's all type this down. Success loves speed. Success loves speed. Thank you. I'm seeing all of us type that. Okay. Success loves speed. Success loves speed. You see, speed is an advantage. In fact, one of the major differentiators between people who are mediocre, people who are average, major differentiator between people who are mediocre, average, and from people who are very successful is one thing called speed. Speed is a determinant for how far you can go. Okay, follow me carefully. Follow me. I want you to follow me on this, okay? I want you to follow me on this. Follow me, okay? Follow me. Success loves speed. I'm going to explain this, all right? I'm going to explain what I mean by success loves speed. Okay, thank you. I'm seeing all of you type that, okay? Success loves speed. Success loves speed, okay? Now, when I'm talking about speed, I'm not just talking about you rushing blindly. A lot of people, when they think about speed, a lot of them just think about just rushing blindly. That's not what I'm talking about. The speed that I'm talking about is not about you rushing blindly. It's about you having something called focused urgency. Focused what? Urgency. Now, the very first time that I heard that statement, success loves speed, is not something that I made. It's something that I've heard so many great people say that over and over again. The very first time that I heard that, I was like, is that really true? And I realized that yes, it is. Because number one thing is this. You see, when you move fast, you are able to capitalize on something called the window of relevance. Think about a farmer right now, okay? You see, there are some seeds and there are some crops that you want to plant that when you're trying to plant them, you need an optimal condition. That means that the entire weather condition. That's why, for example, apples cannot yet, as of now. I mean, I'm sure with scientific advancement, apples will be able to grow in Africa. But as of now, apples cannot thrive within the African atmosphere and weather. It cannot grow here because those are the conditions necessary for that. Okay? Now, life is a life full of windows of opportunities. Every opportunity is characterized by the right conditions. The moment you miss that opportunity, then you have lost on so many things. So when you move with speed allows you to capitalize on windows of opportunities, number one. Number two thing is that when you move with speed, one thing that allows you to do is that you are able to get something called clarity through action. That means that the more that I move, the faster that I move, that means that the faster I get my lessons. And when I get my lessons, I'm able to take that lesson, deduce it, and then find the winning formula from the lesson. Okay? This is what I need to understand. So when you move with speed allows you to, number one, capitalize on the window of opportunity. So, for example, there's something going on that you believe that, okay, if I do this thing, for example, there was a time, there was a particular time where I just had the inclination that, see, this is the time and opportunity to build on LinkedIn. This was 2022, build my brand there. That was a window of opportunity. I came there, I built the at that point in time, the algorithm was not saturated. So you do 1, 2, 3 posts, you're already going high. Okay, like TikTok. The peak of TikTok was when 2020. If you're probably there dancing, you probably would have been popular by now, but you didn't dance in 2020. I'm so sorry. I probably should have been dancing on TikTok in 2022. Right? But that was a window of opportunity. We missed it because we didn't move fast. We didn't see the light in it. Okay. That's one thing. Number two, once you keep on doing things, you get lessons. And I tell people this: fail faster. Because the moment that you decide to move, if you make mistakes, you learn. So if I know that I make mistakes and I learn, why don't I make the mistakes at a faster rate than what everybody is doing? Then I'm able to get the lessons, and then I'm able to refine the lessons, get the winning formula, and then I'm going to succeed. So if it took me 2 years to just be moving fast, I'm going to learn all the lessons. Within the next 3 years, I can move faster than somebody who's taking their time and waiting for the perfect conditions. So success loves speed. So if you want success to fall in love with you, you have to move with speed. Let me say that again. Success loves speed. But if you want success to fall in love with you, or if you want success to fall in love with you, you have to move with speed. So success likes progress, but success loves speed. Please write that down. Success likes progress, but success loves speed. I'm going to something though. These are the building blocks. These are the building blocks. When I get into the thing, you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. When I get to the thing, you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the very first time that I heard success loves speed, I was, as a Christian, I found that very counterintuitive. Because I thought everything is supposed to happen on God's time. Why are you then telling me that I should be moving with urgency? You hear people say that, oh, everything is about time. When the time is right, it will all work out. Do not use that statement again. That's statement for a lazy man. Anyway, you let me continue. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why. Now look at this. Look at this. Let's look at this. Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. Let's do this. Okay. Ecclesiastes 9:11. Let's look at this. Ecclesiastes 9:11. So today I'm like a pastor, but take it like that. I don't mind. All right. Ecclesiastes 9:11. Look at this. Okay. Now it says this. This is Solomon. Okay. This is Solomon saying something. Look at the wisdom of Solomon, right? He said, I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift. Let's pause there. The race is what? Not to the swift, or the battle to the strong. Nor does food come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all. Solomon had seen something under the sun. I want you to listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Okay? Solomon had seen something under the sun. This is the wisest man, okay? The wisest man. The wisest man had seen something under the sun. And the thing that he had seen under the sun was this: that the race is not to the swift, nor is the battle to the strong. Now, I want you to think about this. First of all, I've told you that success loves speed. But Solomon is telling you that the race is not to the swift. Now, mind you, he's not talking about a normal race. For context, he's talking about race, as in the race of life. The race of life is not to the swift. You see, I'm saying success loves speed. So in other words, you need to move with speed. I want you to pay attention to this, okay? Like, listen, if you follow what I'm about to teach you today, I'm telling you, your life will never be the same. I can promise you, I don't even care if there are two people here. If you can just follow what I'm telling you, your life will never be the same. It will never be the same again. After today, okay? Listen. Now, in Ecclesiastes 9, verse 11, he was saying that I have seen something, that the race is not to the swift. Now, look at this. I already told you that success loves speed. So, in other words, if I'm saying success loves speed and you want to be successful, that means that you have to move with speed. But our grandfather or our papa Solomon had said something that the race is not to the swift. So if I'm not supposed to move fast and success loves speed, if that is true, if we base a premise on that is true, then how can I win in life, or how can I win in the race of life? I was thinking about this. I'm like, God has said the race is not to the swift. So if success loves speed, why do I need to move fast? Because according to God's word, I'm not supposed to move fast. So people use this. I know Paul say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to move fast because the race is not to the swift." Don't let them lie to you. Listen, I was there, and then I got the inner witness told me this. Okay, if you don't know what the inner witness is, the Holy Ghost. All right, this is just the school of Lumen. All right, the school of Lumen is built on Christianity. I need you to understand this. Okay, so I want you to understand this. Okay, if you view this is the thing. This is the thing. He's talking about the race of life. Pay attention, the race of life. However, I have come to the conclusion, or I got the inner awakening, that life is not a race. Life is a journey. I'm about to enter into the lighty advantage. So if you missed this whole thing, you have missed it all. Life is a journey, not a race. What do I mean by that? You see, Solomon here is talking about the race of life. So he's talking about, for people who view life as a race, the race is not to the swift. Let me show you what that means. Okay. Now you see, a lot of people live their life in two ways. It's either they are living their life as a race, or they are living their life as a journey. Write this down. People are living their life in two ways. It's either they are living their life as a race, or they are living their life as a journey. Write this down. It's either people are living their life as a race, or they're living as a journey. You see, a lot of people want to live their life as a journey. However, they end up living their life as a race, and it's not their fault. It's all because a race and a journey are almost like the same. Why? Because they have one major thing in common, and that thing is called a destination. Pay attention. Every race has a finish line. Every journey also has a destination. You can't just be on a journey, you're just walking, you're not going anywhere. That means you're just wasting your time. Every journey has a destination. So, yes, life as a journey and life as a race. Okay? Some people live life as a race, some people also live it as a journey. Okay? So, the common thing between a race and a journey is that both of them have a destination. So people often confuse because of the destination. People often get confused. They misinterpret which of them they are supposed to be working in. So people, in attempt to live life as a journey, they end up living life as a race. Remember this: life is not a race. Life is a journey. What is the difference? If they have one common thing, which is a destination, there's a difference between them. Number one thing is this: a race is to keep up with others. Okay, so and when I'm talking about the light year advantage, I remember the light year advantage. I said this about the light year advantage. I put this on the flyer. It is master. I said master the art of accelerating your life's timeline. Okay, I already said that. Master the art of accelerating your life's timeline. Okay. Master the art of accelerating your life's timeline. So we are trying to move with speed. We are trying to learn how to be able to move with speed in our lives. Now, because of that, some people, when I talk about speed, some people are just thinking about race. They are thinking about Paa Kwesi Folson is about to teach us about the light advantage, how to move with speed. So now I can be better than everybody else. Now I'm going to be ahead of everybody else. In fact, even for me, at some point in time, I was like, am I going to make the light advantage about how people can pass each other? Then I realized that no, it's not about that. The light year advantage is not about you living your life as a race, it's about you living your life as a journey. When somebody lives their life as a race, what happens is this: they are competing with others. You see, a race does not have only one person, a race has people are also involved in it. So the moment So when you're racing with somebody, you are competing. It's like who has to get to the finish line first. So you may still get to the finish line, but what happens is that when you get to the finish line, you will not be happy in yourself because you were not first or you are not among the top three. So you, even though you went to the finish line of your life, or you went to the finish line or the ultimate destination, you will not experience happiness because you were living your life as a race, because you were competing with others. No, that's not what I'm talking about. The light year advantage, or what we're about to learn, is not about you living your life as a race, whereby you are just running and you're trying to compete with others, you're trying to be ahead of other people. No, 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 this is not that. Okay, this is not that. I'm not showing you how to get ahead of other people. I'm showing you how to get ahead on your own destiny, on your own life, on your own life's timeline. So life, when you say life is a journey, what that means is that you have a path. When you say life is a race, you are trying to keep up with others. Remember this. When you say life is a race, you are trying to keep up with others. When you say life is a journey, you are trying to keep up with your path or your destiny. So what we are supposed to do, or the light year advantage, is a place whereby we are going to learn how to get speed, but not speed so that we are trying to be passing other people, even though you end up passing other people by default. But that's not the intention. The intention of the light year advantage is to be able to ensure that you are not just moving and trying to raise other people, but you are moving with a kind of speed that allows you to get to your destination faster than expected. So somebody like Jesus was not competing with anybody, yet he was able to complete his destiny in 3 years. Because he was not living life as a race, he was living life as a journey. So when you live life as a race, Ecclesiastes 9:11 is for you. That means that the race will not be to the swift. That means that what will happen is that time and chance will be happening to you when you live your life as a race. The moment you live your life as a journey, no matter what, if challenges happen, if things come, you will not feel bad within yourself, because you know that you are not competing with others. You are moving at the speed of your timeline. So what I'm trying to say is this. Some people will say, okay, even though I don't want to compete with others, competition gives me please give me a minute. Let me pull this off quickly. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. So listen carefully. I want us to, Charlie. I want us to understand what I'm talking about today. Okay, I just want you to understand everything. Um, so yes, life life is a journey, not a race. So what I'm trying to do with the light year advantage is that I'm trying to help you move fast on your life's timeline so that you reach your destiny. You'll be moving fast on the way to your destiny. You are not moving fast because you are trying to compete with others. No, so some people will say, "Oh, I like competition," and I know, and so I hear people say, "Okay, they say this, okay, I don't like competition, but competition is good because when I see others moving, I get to move fast." No, 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 this is not what this is about. You see, when you understand the light year advantage, and when you understand that life is a journey, and you understand what we are talking about, you don't need people to be your motivator for success. Your destiny in itself should be so great that by you not even looking at others, you are already motivated to move fast on your own timeline. I am not competing with anybody. I will never want to compete with other people. I am not trying to compare myself with other public speakers, with other people, with other business people within my space. No, all I am trying to do, and all you should do as somebody listening to me right now, is that you need to be able to move fast on your own destiny's timeline. Everybody has a journey, and if you view life as a journey, you have a destination. So the light year advantage is not about you moving because of other people. You are moving fast because of your own destiny. So you are not keeping up with others, you are keeping up with your destiny, you are keeping up with your path. So forget other people, whether people have done their masters before you, whether people have married before you. That is, if you get sad because of that, it's because you are viewing life as a race. Forget that. That is common knowledge. In the word, you are supposed to be living life as a race. I mean as a journey. The race of life. If you live life by the race of life, I'm telling you, time and chance will happen to you, and you will not feel successful. I'm telling you, and you can never experience something called true success. True success, the final state of true success is something called fulfillment. Everybody who was ever rich in this life is trying to you see. Let me tell you something. Let me write this down. Money can buy happiness. I don't know who told people that lie, but money can buy happiness. There's only one thing money cannot buy, and that is something called fulfillment. Money can buy happiness, but money cannot buy fulfillment. The final state of success is something called fulfillment. Fulfillment is a state. Even God experienced fulfillment in Genesis 7. I'm not going to go into that. We'll cover that later. Okay. So let me just move into everything that I have. Okay. So I've built the foundation blocks. Okay. That life is a journey, not a race. So that when we are talking about gaining speed, which is what the light year advantage is about, it's about gaining unprecedented progress. It's not about being able to compete with other people. It's about being able to move fast on your own life's timeline. So you are not moving fast because of others. You are moving fast because of your own destiny, because of your own path, because of your own destination. Others are not the motivator for success. You and your destiny your destiny is the primary motivator for your success. Money can buy happiness, but it cannot buy fulfillment. Fulfillment is a different ball game altogether. You see, Rockefeller was a very rich man, and Carnegie was a very rich man. At the end of their years, they were not trying to accrue wealth again. No. They had already achieved success, significance, everything. Okay, there are stages in life. There are different stages in life. Okay, it's survival, security, success, significance. Okay, significance, however, is not the top of the top. There's something, there's a realm higher called fulfillment. And people, you see, money can buy you happiness. That's that one day. For me, one of the things that I like the most, okay, is yogurt. I like yogurt a lot. If I buy yogurt, I can be happy. Money, if I purchase the yogurt for 10 CDs, 11 CDs, whatever, I don't know how much the bottle of yogurt is. If I buy it and I get happy, money has brought me happiness. But it can never give me fulfillment. Fulfillment is a state of completion. All people are trying to find out in their life is, how can I feel complete? So Andrew Carnegie and Rockefeller, at the end of their lives, they started giving their wealth away, their money away to people, to charities and stuff, because all they were trying to find was fulfillment. But the thing is this: you can never find true fulfillment outside of God, outside of the realm of God, because fulfillment, you cannot find fulfillment. Fulfillment is imparted, is a different realm altogether. I cannot talk about that. It's a mystery. I cannot go into that right now. Let's move on. So, and I'm defining, so what I'm trying to do is that I've qualified the type of speed. Okay, so the speed that you need is not for competition, but it is for your own destiny's domination. The speed that you need, please write this down. The speed that you need is not for competition, it's not for competition, but it's for your own destiny's domination. Write that down. The speed that you need is not for competition, it is for your own destiny's domination. Okay, so my job here is to help you to stop competing, okay, and help you to move fast on your own life's timeline. Okay, with that being said, let's go into what I have right now. Okay, now when I talk about the light here, okay, all right, I was not even moving on my slides. All right. So now when I talk about the light year advantage, what do I mean? Okay. A lot of people are saying, oh, the light year advantage. The light year advantage is simple. How to unlock unprecedented progress in your life. Okay. But when I talk about a light year, what do I mean? Now, I want you to understand that there are two different types of years. There's something called an ordinary year. There's something called a light year. An ordinary year is ordinary growth. People experience they have a nice year, but there's something called a light year. Now, what's the definition of the light year? Now, this is from NASA. Okay, I am not now. I'm just. The reason why I put this screenshot on the screen is this: I am not the one making this up. I'm not the one who made the definition of a light year. I'm not doing that. All I did was I discovered. You see, everything that I'm teaching you is not something that I probably made up. I'm just showing you the stuff that I discovered from stuff that already existed in the universe. So the light year is not a term that I made that sounded fancy and cool and deep. No, the light year is something that exists within the field of science and astronomy. Now, I want you to understand that astronomy is different from astrology. Astrology is the zodiac signs and those things. That is not what this is about. The astronomy is science, like understanding how the sun works, those kind of things. That's what astronomy is. Just clarifying, okay? So that people won't think that I'm teaching them how to be able to call people's birthdays. And no, I'm not doing that, right? The light year advantage, okay? Now look at this, okay? The light year, it says over here, a light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. Please, can we all write that down? A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. Let's all type this down. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. I want to see about 5 or 10 of these statements in the comment section. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. I've already laid the grounds. Okay, so we are going to enter. Okay, please write this down. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. I want to see more people type that. If you don't type that, I'm not going to continue, because this is what this whole thing is about, the light year advantage. So if you get it wrong, you've gotten it wrong. Please type this down. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. A light year is the distance, exactly, is the distance light travels in 1 year. Perfect. Now I want you to know, anybody who understands science, anybody who understands life, knows that light is the fastest force in the universe. It is the fastest phenomenon to have ever existed. That is why, you see, light is so fast. Light can travel 300 million miles in 300 million meters. 300 million miles in. What am I saying? Let me say it this way, okay? It can travel 300,000 kilometers per second, and it can travel 300 million meters per second. That is how fast light is. Now, when I say that, it may not make sense to you. Let me help you understand how fast light is. Look at this. Now, do you know this? Listen carefully. It takes light, according to NASA, it takes light 8 minutes to travel from the sun to the earth. 8 minutes. Listen carefully. It takes light 8 minutes to travel from the sun to the earth. Do you know how fast that is? Because the sun and the earth are so apart. I know every day when you're walking, you can feel the sun, especially if you're in Ghana, Africa, you're in Cameroon, Nigeria, because I know there's so many people joining from different parts of the world. When you feel the sun and the heat of the sun, you're like, the sun is hot too. It feels like the sun is close, but the sun is so far. Now, to make sense of it, look at this. It takes light 8 minutes to travel from the sun to the earth. But look at this. If a human being was to travel with a plane from the earth to the sun, if you're talking about the distance, it will take us, if you're traveling in a plane, it will take you at least 19 years for you to travel from the earth to the sun with a plane. 19 years. But it takes light 8 minutes. Now, if you were using a car, the distance between a car and the sun, it should probably take you over 177 years. And this is not my research, this is what science has proved, okay? It will take you about 177 years before you can reach the sun from the earth. 177 years. Now, if you are walking at normal speed, if you're walking fast, it will take you over 3,500 years if you're walking the distance from the sun to the earth. 3,500 years. But light does it in only 8 minutes. The sun to the earth, light will do it in 8 minutes. But if you were taking a plane from the sun to the earth, can you imagine? And it's non-stop walking. That means that you not stop to buy water, you not stop to eat, you not stop to do anything. You are just walking, Or if you are traveling with the plane is just going full time in the air for 19 years. 19 years or in the air, no stop. You can't transit. You can't stop somewhere in some other country. For example, if you're going to Kenya, yeah, or you're going to South Africa and you stop at Kenya, you can't do that. You can't make a transit. Non-stop, but light does it in 8 minutes. I only use this example so that you understand how fast light is. I want you to comprehend that even if you use a car to the sun, it will take you over 177 years. If you are walking to the sun, it will take you 3,000 years. Even right now, from the time Jesus died to now, it has only been 2,000 years. That means that you'll be walking sun 3,000 years. If you are walking sun from there, you'll be walking sun, your nickname will be Ancient of Days. Because you just be walking. You just be walking. You just be walking for 3,000 years. Even from the time Jesus died to now, it has not been 3,000 years. You just be walking if you want to walk the distance from the sun to the earth. But light does it in 8 minutes. So I just want you to understand how fast light is. So when we talk about a light year, the light year simply means the distance that light can travel within 1 year. Can you imagine how far light will go within 1 year? Can you imagine? Because it's so fast, within 1 year, it's going to travel so fast. So the light year advantage is about you being able to move so fast on your destiny's timeline. That is what the light year is. Now, why does the light year matter for us? And this is the anchor scripture for the school of Lumen. Matthew 5:14. Clenam, I want you to read this one. Okay, I'm going to show you on my screen, but I want you to read it. I don't really want to read it this one. Okay, Matthew 5:14. This is why the light year matters to you. I'm explaining to everybody why the light year matters to you. Okay, because listen, if you are somebody here, if you are listening to me, you shouldn't be living your life. You shouldn't be living your life at the speed of everybody else. The speed that everybody else is trying to achieve their things in their life, you should not be moving at that same speed. You are supposed to be having something called a light year. And the fact that you are not having a light year means that you are in trouble. You should be able to have so much progress that people ask you, how did you achieve all of this within this period of time? That is what a light year is. You want to cover so much distance within 1 year. That's the light year. Because light moves fast. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to help you to move fast. Okay. So let me open Matthew 5:14. Okay. Or Clenam, if you can open it on your side, okay, I have it here. Okay, so let's do it. Matthew 5:14. This is the anchor scripture of the school of the Lumen. Okay, if you are in school of Lumen, this is going to be your scripture. Please read this out for us. A short. Clenam.
Okay, Folson. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden.
One more time, please.
You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden.
Okay, one more time. Final time.
You are the light of the world. A town
You are
built
the
on a
light
hill
of the world. Cannot be hidden.
Yeah, cannot be hidden.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Clenam. Thank you. You see what Clenam read? You are the light of the world. Now, look at this. Look at this. Okay. The reason why you are supposed to have a light here is because you yourself, you are a light. You see, it's not Elijah who called you a light. It's not Peter who said you were a light. It was Jesus himself from his lips, and he said you are a light. So that means that if I'm a light, you see, a light can only do what light does. So a light cannot be moving A light does not have ordinary years. A light can only have light years. So for me, this was the revelation that I had. I realized that I am a light. So if I'm a light, I cannot be having normal years. The speed at which I'm supposed to achieve things in my life and in your life, the speed at which you're supposed to do that, or the amount of things that you're going to achieve in a year should not be the same thing as what people are having within their year. No, 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 no. People, you should be a wonder to men and women. And it's not because of anything, it's just because you are a light. So if you are a light, it is only natural for you to have a light year. Does that make sense to you? You see, I am a light, so I'm supposed to have a light year. I am a light because Jesus has already said that you are a light. So if I'm a light, I'm only supposed to be covering a lot of distance within 1 year. That is a light year. Okay. So a light year is what? The distance that light travels in a light year. So what that means is that I'm not just telling you that, oh, you should have a light year. No, 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 no. I'm not telling you that you should have a light year because a light year is just something. No, I'm telling you you should have a light year because a light year is the natural speed and the natural distance of somebody who's already a light. Light cannot act outside of its existence. Light cannot act outside of its nature. So if you are a light, you are only supposed to act within your nature. And your nature is speed. That means that the amount of things that you achieve or the distance that you travel within 1 year should be so significant that you will be a wonder to people. And that is what light year is. Are you catching it? People are saying it makes so much sense now. Wow. Preach. I'm seeing your comments. Be dropping. If you don't drop comments, my anointing will not be coming, and I cannot show you what I have. I'm moving with light, so I'm not going to get lost. Okay. So that is what a light year is. Okay. That's what the true light year is. So you cannot you cannot be ordinary because you see, a lot of people try to. Jesus said, you see, this is the whole thing. So Jesus said you are a light. Nobody has ever asked themselves that among all the things that Jesus could call me in this world, why did Jesus call me a light? Jesus could have said, Jesus could have used any other great term. Jesus could have said, you are a diamond, you are a gold, you are a piece of gold. He could have said, you are a sapphire, you are an emerald. He could have said, you are silver. He could have said, you are all the amazing things. He could have said, you are money. Jesus could have said, you are money. You are the money of the world. Jesus could have said, you are the gold of the world. Jesus could have used any other beautiful term, but Jesus only had one term, and that was light. Why would Jesus is trying to give me a name, and the only thing that Jesus can think of is light? You think it was by chance? The reason why he gave you the thing light, you see, people, he gave you the name light, or Jesus said you are a light for a reason. And the reason is so that you understand the essence of what being a light is. So many people read that scripture. He said, oh, you are the light of the world. Have you ever taken time to understand what a light truly is? Not just in Christianity, but in terms of science. Have you understood what a light truly is? The characteristics of a light, what a light does? Have you tried to make sense of it before? That is what science does. Science helps us to understand life. So Jesus has said that we are a light, but science has now given us the proof of what light does. It has given us the characteristics and the nature. It has given us the understanding and the mystery of what light does. So all my job is to do is that Jesus said I'm a light. So if I can spend my time understanding what a light is, do you know what will happen? I'll end up being the light of the world. And if I'm the light of the world, guess what? I will not be a city that will be hidden. That means that I will be my brightness will be so much that everybody will be coming to me. Look at what the scripture said. I want you all to all look at the scripture. Let's look at this final scripture and I move on. Okay, Isaiah 60 verse 3. Isaiah 60 verse 3. Isaiah 60 verse 3. Today I have a lot of things to show you. Listen, I'm telling you, this is, if you understand, I'm going deep bit by when I finish, you understand what I'm talking about. I promise you. I promise you understand what I'm talking about. Your life will never be ordinary. You only experience light years. From this point onwards, you only experience light years. Nothing about you will be ordinary. When I came into the public speaking scene, they told me what it would take 3 years. It would take what three? It would take you 3 years. That and it's an industry general. It's a general industry. No, they told me that it would take you 3 years. And even something called the 300 talk rule is by Brian Tracy and all these people. They've already said this is an established thing. They said I have to talk on stages. I have to speak on 300 stages before I can become a paid speaker. Guys, guess what? I mean, up to now, I've not done over 300 speaking engagements. Within my first 5-6 months of speaking, within my first 9 months of speaking, I had already been paid as a speaker. Because I am not moving according to their timeline, I am moving with the speed of light. If it could take light 8 minutes to move from the sun to the earth, and God says, I am a light, that means that what will take people 50 years to accomplish, it will take me 5 years. Oh my God. Oh my God. Does that click for you? Oh my God. Like it's so deep. It's so deep. I hope you catch it. I just hope you catch it. Let's look at this, okay? Isaiah 60 verse 3. It says, nations will come to your light, and kings shall come to the brightness of your dawn. Look at this. Oh my God. You see, the moment that you understand that you are a light, people will be coming to you. I like how King James puts it. Let me read King James. King James says something. It says, Gentiles shall come to thy light. Do you know what Gentile is? A Gentile is somebody who doesn't believe. Or in the Bible context, somebody who was not a Jew. Primarily, at the time when the scripture was being used, a Gentile was not, you see, for example, I am not a Jew, okay, at least in terms of like, I'm not a Jew, naturally, I'm not a Jew. A lot of people, you're in Ghana, you're not a Jew, you're a Ghanaian. So, in other words, in the real sense of everything, you are actually a Gentile. But I mean, by spiritual everything, we get to partake in everything, and we get to be like Jews. But at this point in time, the Gentiles that was used over here was for unbelievers. In other words, if I should just make this, if I don't want to spiritualize everything, and I just use I use the word unbelievers. It says, if I should read this, let me zoom this in. It says, and if let me interchange the word Gentiles for unbelievers. And the unbelievers shall come to your light. Do you know what that means? Even people who didn't believe that you were so great, they will start coming to you. I have seen people who have told me, can't you see that there are so many people in life? You see, until you believe you are light, even people who don't believe in your potential will start, when you start believing your light, even people who don't believe in your potential will start believing your potential. You didn't catch that. You are a light. Even unbelievers, people who never believed that you could be something, that you could make $1 million doing whatever business you were doing, they will begin to come to your light because they see that, nah, this guy is now shining so much. And that is what is called the light year advantage, because when you start moving and you start accomplishing a lot of things within an ordinary year, you see, one of the reasons why I had this event at the end of January was because by that time, everybody would have written their goals down. And then I will show you the light year advantage. And then once you understand the light year advantage, instead of you, I'm telling you, you'll be moving with so much speed, you'll be accomplishing so many things. People will be asking you how. Now let me move on, okay? Let me move on to this, okay? Let me move on here. Wow. The light here advantage. The light here advantage. Let's look at this, okay? Let's look at this, all right? Now, so I've explained to you what the light year advantage is, okay? And that means that if you are a light, you are only supposed to be moving at the speed of light. You have no choice. Jesus has said you are a light. So that means that if I'm a light, I can't be moving at ordinary speed. If I'm moving at ordinary speed, that means that I am not walking in line with Matthew 5:14, which is God's original design for us, that we are lights. So you are only supposed to be moving at the speed of light. The moment you are not moving at the speed of light, you're already doing something that's against the scriptures. You're supposed to be moving. Your life should have progress. Light signifies progress. Not only progress, but exponential progress. That's what the light year advantage. So within a year, within 1 year, you are going to experience exponential progress. Now, Now let me go into this. Let me go into this. Now let's look at this, okay? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now in science, now even when I was about to have this event, I was so much in a I was so much in a conflict with myself on whether I should be deep or relatable. And I didn't want to go into so many scientific things so that it doesn't confuse a lot of people. Because for me, I've been studying I've been studying all about light since 2022, like deeply, like with my life. I'm telling you. I've been studying it. Okay? I've been studying what it means to be a light. Now, I need you to now this is what I want you to understand. Okay. Now in science, the way that light behaves has a particular term. Watch this. The way that light behaves has a particular term. That term is called optics. Can we all type optics? Optics. For example, let me just Google this for you to see, because I don't want people to be seeing that and say, oh, and this guy is just making things up. Let me type this, okay? The behavior of light is called what? Okay, you see, I don't want you to feel like, oh, he's just telling us this, because sometimes some people will tell me, oh, like I'm not making stuff up. Okay, let me Google this, right? Look at this. Can you see my screen? The behavior of light is called what? Optics. Now, I want you to understand something, okay? So that's how, so you see, if you are a light, you have to be able to behave like light. You're not catching it. If you are a light, you have to learn how to behave like light. Because you see, if you are something, you cannot act outside of what you are. For example, you cannot meet a lion, and then you see dogs bark. Okay, you do whoa, 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 whoa. You can never meet a snake who is barking. You cannot do that. You cannot find that. If you find that, you will be shocked, right? If you ever meet a snake and the snake was barking like a dog, what will happen to you? Hey, I'm telling you, you will be shocked. That's why even in the Bible, when a donkey was talking, the guy was shocked. Because the donkey has acted outside of its nature. It has acted outside of its behavior. Does it make sense? So if you are a light, you are only supposed to act within your behavior. So the behavior of light in science is called optics. Follow me now. Oh my God. It's called what? Optics. It's called optics. Okay? The behavior of light is called what? Optics. Now I want you to understand this, okay? That behavior is so important. Like behavior is so important. Behavior. The way something behaves, the way you behave can actually determine your success. Let me say this, in fact. Let me say this. Let me put it this way, okay? I want to be able to say it in a way that when I say it, it will sound good. Okay? Let me say it like this, okay? Your behavior will determine whether let me move my glasses for this one, okay? Your behavior will determine whether you become a failure or you become a savior. Somebody should write that down. I wanted to be slow with how I said that. Your behavior will determine whether you become a failure or a savior. Behavior is an important part of success. You see, it's your thoughts, the way you behave, and then your actions. These are the three main components of what will contribute to whether you have a successful destiny or not. Your behavior will determine whether you will become a failure or a savior. Your behavior will determine whether you become a failure or you become a savior. In other words, it will be a determinant of whether you will fail your destiny or you will save your destiny. So if we are coming to learn about how light behaves, we have to understand that it is going to be determinant of whether we actually fail our destiny or save our destiny, or whether we are going to achieve a light year or not achieve a light year. So that means that if you want to operate with the speed of light, we have to learn how light behaves. Now, optics, the behavior of light is called what? Optics. Now, look at this now. Now, optics has different laws. There are different laws of optics. Anybody who's a science guy here will tell you. There are different laws of optics. There's polarization of light, there's diffraction, there's reflection, there's refraction. All these things, okay? But there are two core laws when it comes to the laws of optics. Follow me carefully. I'm going deep into everything. There are two core laws. And these laws are there are two laws. Number one, the law of reflection, and number two, the law of refraction. These are the two main ways by which light behaves. Light either reflects or refracts. I just hope you catch this. I'm trying to be as slow, and I don't want to be too complex so that you don't get what I'm saying, okay? Please write this down. Light can either reflect or refract. I want you to catch what I'm about to show you. Light can either reflect or refract. These are the two main behaviors of light. Okay? What I'm showing you is I'm going to show you how to behave like light so that you can move at the speed of light. I'm going to show you how to behave like light so you can move at the speed of light. I'm telling you, you will not have an ordinary year after the light year advantage. Stop it, you will not. Light can either reflect or refract. Okay? With that being said, let's look at the law of reflection, because all of these laws, reflection and refraction, have laws. They all have laws. Reflection and refraction have laws. I'm saying the refraction so slowly so I don't end up, oh my God. The law of reflection and the law of refraction, okay? I want you to understand this, okay? I'm showing you how to behave like light. Now, you see, there are so many, I put my slides through a lot of scrutiny so that I don't end up adding so many deep things. Because the number of stuff I was going to add, I didn't want to add all of that. Look at this. Follow me carefully. We are now understanding what light is. You see, Jesus said, "You are the light." That means that it is our duty to understand what light is. The moment you do understand, you see, when Jesus said you are a light, you're supposed to understand three things by that statement. Number one, what is a light? Number two, what does it mean to be a light? And number three, why should I be a light? These three things. Number one, what is a light? Which I've explained. What does it mean to be a light? I've explained. Why should we be a light? I've explained these three things already. Okay, so it is our duty, if we want to be able to move at the speed of light, we have to understand light. So if light has two particular ways that it behaves, which is reflection or refraction, we need to understand the laws that are underlying of these things. I'm telling you, it will all make sense when I'm done. When I'm done, you'll be like, wow, this guy. Okay, this is the lighty advantage. We're going to kill stuff. We're going to kill stuff. Okay. You see, the whole thing is this. I'm trying to help you to gain direction. In this whole thing, I'm trying to help you to gain direction, because the whole thing is this. If you lack direction, you will be living your entire life in deception. You didn't catch that. I said, if you lack direction, you'll be living your entire life in deception. So this whole thing is about you being able to gain a different level or a higher level I'm trying to help you to gain a higher level of direction than the ordinary man. When you gain that higher level of direction, life will become your playground. It will be so easy for you. Understand that Jesus completed his destiny in 3 years. Now, when in the subsequent years or the subsequent editions of the School of Lumen, we're not going to be doing all of these deep things. We're going to go into how to make money on the internet, and I'm going to show you some other stuff. Okay, suffer this for now. I want you to understand. If you don't understand these things, everything that I'll teach, your life will just be like moving from space to space. You don't understand anything. I'm going to show you something. So I'm telling you, one of the things about the School of Lumen is that hopefully by God's grace, by 2028, we should have at least 10 CD millionaires within this community. Within your space, you're going to be like a very, very like I'm telling you, in dollars, you should be like for people who are in Africa, you want to be making 6 figures or half that, be worth that 6 figure dollars, okay? Like for people who are here. And that's one of the things. So we are going, if you don't understand the foundation of these things, you see, great, beautiful houses or beautiful houses are built on great foundations. The moment you lack the basic foundation, don't expect to build a beautiful house. In other words, if you miss this foundation, don't expect to be able to build on what we are talking about. Look at this. Now, the law of reflection states this: the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand that the reason I'm helping you to understand these things is this: anything you do not understand, do not expect to manifest. Anything you do not understand, do not expect to manifest. That means that you can never manifest anything that you do not understand. Hey, today I've dropped so many bombs and it's so crazy. Anything you do not understand, I always tell people this: anything you don't understand, do not expect to manifest. The reason why you cannot manifest a certain dimension of what you want, if you are trying to manifest a certain wealth dimension, is just because you have not understood that dimension yet. In order to make millions, you need to understand the dimension of. In order to manifest millions, you need to be able to understand the dimension of millions. If you want, you see what the kind of understanding that will take for you to operate or make $1 million is not the same understanding that you need in order for you to make $1 billion. I remember the very first time that I made my first 10,000 Ghana cedis. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was feeling like a genius. I was like, Charlie, I make a move. See, you couldn't tell me anything around that time. You couldn't tell me anything. You can't tell me nothing. Forget it, forget about it. You can't tell me. Then I was a rich man. Bill Gates had nothing on me. Elon Musk had nothing on me. Jeff Bezos had nothing on me. My first 10,000 Ghana cedis. I was like, God damn. Charlie, listen. But what the understanding that it took me to make that was different from the understanding that we had before we had our first 6 figure revenue. Yeah. And there's a different understanding that you need to make millions and billions and whatever. Anything you do not understand, you cannot manifest. All right? So I need you to understand. If you want to have a light here, you need to understand the full dimension of the light in order to manifest the light here. Okay? All right. Oh my God. All right. So the law of reflection. The law of reflection states that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. What does that mean? Now, when you look at this, okay, I don't want to go into everything so deeply. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish everything. So I want to go fast, okay? Now, you can see that there's something called the incident ray and there's something called the reflected ray. You can see that the incident ray is coming in, the reflected ray is coming out. The incident ray hits the surface. This is called the plane mirror. and this reflects. So like this reflection is seen in the mirror. So you are standing there, and then you have been you see your reflection. That is the incident ray and the reflected ray. So you can see that this is coming in, this is going out. Let me. I just want you to look at this. Look, I just want you to look at this carefully. Just look at this carefully, okay? Look at the. Just analyze the diagram. I want you to analyze it, okay? I want you to analyze it. Now you see when. Okay, a minute. Oh my God. Anyway, so let me open this quickly. I want to be careful of how I tell you something. So just want to. Okay. Great. Oh my God. Right. You forget about everything. I'll just. Okay. So we have the incident ray and then we have the reflected ray. Now, as you can see, the incident ray is coming down, the reflected ray is going up. That is the law of reflection. Let's look at this one. This is the law of refraction. I want you to just understand this, and then we get to everything, right? I want you to understand this. This is the law of refraction. Okay. Now look at the law of refraction over here. As you can see, the incident ray comes, so it has two major rays. Okay, you see, the law of reflection has two major rays: the incident ray and the reflected ray. The law of refraction has two major. It has two major. It has two major rays, which is the incident ray again, and then the refracted ray. The law of refraction, there's something called the Snell's law. I don't know if you know the science people know, okay? The Snell's law. It states that when light passes from one medium into another, it changes direction. For example, if light, and you see, at the beginning, I like what Clenham said. She said, if you can't be seen, you can't be heard. Like, you see, light is one of the fastest things. You see, that's why when it rains, you see the thunder before you hear the sound. You see the lightning before you hear the thunder. Okay? Because light is so fast. Light moves faster than sound. Okay? Now let's just back to this, okay? The incident ray, the refracted ray. Okay, and Clenham was saying what? You'll be seen before you are ahead. So this is the school of Lumen. Light gives you the ability to be seen. They say, well, a city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Anyway, so incident ray, refracted ray. Okay, so when light passes from one medium to another, it changes direction. Look at this. Light has hit. Look at this one. So this is the surface. Light hits something, and immediately it changes direction. The light has come in. Immediately, it has an output, and boom, it changes direction. It didn't stop moving. You see, there are some other things, for example, like sound. Sound can hit something and then it will bounce back. Light will hit something and change direction. Now, the good thing about the law of reflection is this. The incident ray over here determines the distance of the reflected ray. Oh my God, I'm really trying to I want this to make so much sense to all of you, okay? So I want to build on it, okay? I just want to build on it. Okay? So as you can see, this is the incident ray. So this is coming in. Now this, to me, when I look at this, and I look at this, because remember what I said. The incident ray determines the direction of the reflected ray. Remember that. If you can't remember, just remember this. If you can't remember anything that I'm saying, just remember this. The incident ray dictates the path of the reflected ray. Now, what that means is this. You see, this is coming in. To me, when I look at this and I think about it in terms of personal growth and speed and progress, the incident ray is the thing that is coming in, because if the incident ray determines the direction of this, that means that, oh, I didn't bring this thing with me. I wanted to show you something. Snap. Okay, no problem. Um, okay, so the incident ray determines the direction of the reflected ray. What that means to me is that the incident ray is almost like your input in life, because this is what hits the surface. This is what dictates how much you can have. It dictates the distance by which you can go. It dictates the path of the reflected ray. So to me, when I look at the incident or the angle of incidence in the reflection, the law of reflection, all I can think about is input. Because this is about approaching. The incident ray is approaching. So it's dependent on how you approach something. So, guys, the way that you approach something would dictate the path by which you go. If you approach something lackadaisically, expect to achieve lackadaisical results. If you approach something with seriousness, expect to achieve what? Serious results. This is what the law of reflection tells you in simple details when you are not thinking about it as a science person. How does this make sense in my life? This is how the law of reflection makes sense in your life. Because the incident ray dictates the path of the reflected ray. The incident ray is the one that is approaching the surface. The reflected ray is the one that is the reflected ray is dependent on how things are approached. Are you with me? So the reflected ray is only a culmination or a result of how you approach something. So the incident ray, when it hits something, that is what it does. It goes this way. So when you approach something, the law of reflection is what? It's talking about our input, how we can approach something, and that will determine how much we can go. Let me not go too deep into this. I wanted to go into something right now, but I just want to stop there. The law of refraction. Let's look at this. The law of refraction. I told you about the Snell's law. Okay, the Snell's law. I told you about the Snell's law. Okay, when light hits a medium, it bends. So look, the light has approached, but over here it has hit something. Okay, so when you hit something, to me, when I look at this, it just talks to me about life, and this is the behavior of light. You see, when this hits this, the incident ray comes, it reflects. Boom. So that means that the reflected ray is only dependent on the incident ray. However, over here, when the incident ray hits the surface, it bounces. So it could be water, it could be air, it could be anything. It changes direction. Guys, as you can learn from light, when you encounter something within your year, it's not about when you hit, you see, look at the law of refraction. Okay, so this has hit something, it has changed. When you encounter something in your year, it is not about you now trying to figure out, oh my god, you just now be okay. I've hit an obstacle or a challenge, so I'm supposed to be there. You are supposed to have the character and the behavior of the law of refraction. What that means that when you encounter something, you change direction. Catch. The law of refraction is that I change direction. So the approach, if I use an approach and I hit an obstacle, I change direction. I change my approach. That is how it makes sense to the human mind when it comes to how you can progress. So this is the law of refraction. So as you can see, the refracted ray is about adaptability, more or less. Okay. Now let's look at this. When I look at all of these things, both the law of refraction and the law of reflection, all I can see is one thing. All I can see is one thing. They all point to one critical observation, that is all about an input output relationship. When something is approaching it, it's about how you go about it. So my first thing for you, in order for you to have a light year, and this is the foundational law of everything, because this is the foundational. So in other words, this is the foundational behavior of somebody who wants to have a light year. The foundational behavior of somebody who wants to have a light year is this: focus on input, not output. Write this down. Focus on input, not output. Focus on input, not output. Focus on input, not output. Can we write? So this is the foundational behavior of light, okay? Especially in terms of this is the foundational behavior we should adopt if we want to be able to have a light year. The very first thing that we need to do is focus on inputs, not output. I want people to type that. Focus on inputs, not output. Okay? Now, when you pick a hammer, okay, and you are trying to hit the hammer on the, you're trying to hit, you get a nail, you're trying to hit it on his head. Let's imagine that the nail is the nail or whatever is your goal. A hammer has two sides. It has the head and it has the handle. The amount of effort that you put in the handle will determine how much output the head will have. If you use energy to hit the thing hard, bang, you start it will hit hard. Are you feeling me? Like the head is going to drive the needle, the pin or the nail hard. So that is a representative of something called effort. And there's something called load. Input, not output. Life is a life. Listen, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Life is a relationship. And it's a relationship of input and output. That is it. The moment you begin to operate your year based on input, not output, you'll be able to control your success. You'll be able to create success. You'll be able to have a light here. This is the foundational behavior. Focus on input, not output. First thing. Now, when I say input, not output, the very first way that I get to think about it, and especially because I'm building a brand, is this. For example, I heard somebody say this the other time, and it made so much sense. I was like, this makes so much sense. He was like, he can't control the number of people that will follow him. So, for example, like, he can't just wake up one day and wish that, oh, boom, 36,000 people will follow him. No, he can't just do that. Okay, that is a number that is outside of his control. But what he can control is the number of times that he posts. When he posts a lot of times, or he's able to create more content for people, this is what the guy said. He's called Salem King. I was watching him say that, and then he'll say that if he's able to control the number that is within his input or within his control is the number of times that he can post. So, for example, you see when you open Instagram, there are three different numbers that you see. You see the number of posts, you see the followers, and you see following. The following there, if you want down there, is also within your control, but that's not what you're looking at. People focus more on the followers. But if you want to be able to increase your followers, you can't increase it at will. But the only thing that you can control is the number of things that you can post so that people will now see you and decide to follow you. Are you getting it? So that is a real life example of the input, not output. Ladies and gentlemen, if you truly want to be successful, you should have the foundational behavior of input, not output. What do I mean? A lot of you have already set your goals, but your goals are only output oriented. Follow me or ask me, I'm going somewhere. These are slides that I've put together, so you can see that it's well thought through. Look at this, okay? Look at this. A lot of people, they set goals and their goals are only output oriented. So maybe they said that, I want to make 1 million CDs, or I want to lose 10 kilograms. Those are only outputs. You actually do not have control over the output that you have. But what you have control over is your input. When you can control the amount of times that you are able to do something that contributes to a goal because it's within your control. So the moment you focus on input, not output, you are able to control everything. This is the foundational behavior of light, or the foundational behavior that you should have if you want to have a light year. Focus on inputs, not outputs. Okay. Now, like you see, what you want to do is that you want to focus on your efforts. You want to focus on your intention. You want to focus on your actions. The stuff that you can control. The stuff that you can't control, leave it to that. I'm telling you, when you focus and have hyper focus on your input, everything will change. And that's what you can be able to do. You'll be able to have what you call, that is the beginning of everything. It's just the foundational of everything. You'll be able to have a light year. So this is the whole thing. As we are continuing the year, stop focusing on the outputs. Okay, everybody has an output. They want to reach 100,000 followers. They want to reach something. You cannot control that. The only thing you can control are your actions and your efforts. All right. So the moment what you want to do is that you want to spend more time on the inputs than you spend more time on the outputs. Spend more time on the inputs than you want to spend more time on the outputs. So you want to set your inputs, okay? When you set a goal, you want to ask yourself, what is it going to take me to achieve this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I want to lose 10 kilograms, I have to go to the gym 5 times a day. Whatever your goal is, I don't mind. Determine the inputs. Determine the inputs that will be necessary, that will necessitate the output. I'm going somewhere. So that's the first thing. I need you to set your inputs. Number 2, I want you to understand that inputs are controllable and inputs are controllable and actions or outputs are not controllable. So you want to be able to have your inputs and not your outputs. Okay, let me not dwell too much on this point. I've already drummed it home. You guys understand. Now listen to this. Okay, now the relationship. You see, I'm going somewhere. Yeah. The people, I'm telling you, please, our community manager, Momo, let them know that people should be joining again, because now we are talking. This is the light year advantage. I'm telling you, once you get this whole thing, your life will never be the same again. Now look at this. Now I'm going to the scientific part. I told you expect 3 things: biblical revelation, scientific insights, and practical to-dos. We are getting there. We are breaking, man, making progress. Okay. Now, the relationship between input and output gives you a particular advantage. And that advantage is something in science known as mechanical advantage. When you talk about machines, there's something called mechanical advantage. I mean, in levers, in pulleys, in all of these things, they experience an advantage. And the mechanical advantage is simply the output over the input force. So the output force over the input force. So when you are able to truly understand the relationship between input and output, you'll be able to have an advantage. And this is the advantage in the light year advantage. The advantage number 1 is that you get to focus on your inputs and not your outputs. You get to get something, I mean, mechanical advantage, but we are not tools, we are not machines, we are real life people. But I'm just using science to be able to express an idea. Okay? You're going to get an advantage when you just focus on your inputs and your outputs. So you having an advantage is dependent on this one thing called input and output. That's why I said it's the what? Foundational what? Belief. Or I said it's the foundational what? Behavior. So you want to focus on inputs and not outputs, because outputs are not always in your control. Inputs are always in your control. The thing, your efforts and everything. That is the advantage you can get. I don't want to go so much into this. Now, you see, mechanical advantage, this is the formula for it. Output force over input force. For example, if you say, no, I don't want to go into that. Let me just move on. Okay. So now that we are here, I'm going to give you something. Okay. And this is the last part of everything. So I want us to pause at this point in time and tell people to join. I want you to tell people to join. Let's all share the link, put on our status again, tell people to join. Because now I've now moved from the scientific and biblical parts. Let's all share the link. Let's all share the link. Let's all share the link. I'm about to share the link myself. Let's all share the link. Let's let them come. Let's let them join. Okay. I'm about to give you guys the wisdom of something called unprecedented progress. Okay. Because the light year is about being able to achieve a lot in the year. We are trying to cover a lot of distance. Okay? So if we are trying to cover a lot of distance, and I've helped you to understand that we are trying to focus on the input and not the output, I'm going to give you you see, if I was telling you to focus on the input and the output, I've given you an idea to do that. But what type of input should you focus on? That is the whole determinant of whether you're going to have a light year or not. What type of input should you focus on? So the type of inputs that you should focus on is what I've encapsulated as the wisdom of unprecedented progress. Let's all tie this down. The wisdom of unprecedented progress. We're going to have a light here. And you remember, you see, the thumbnail of this thing is unlock unprecedented progress. So this is what this is about. We want to unlock the wisdom, or we want to unlock unprecedented progress. So and I want you to understand that the wisdom of unprecedented progress is me giving you the type of input that you need. Because I said what? Focus on what? Input, not output. When you focus on input, you are going to get a particular advantage. And we are not machines, so that's why I'm not using the word mechanical advantage. But we're going to get an advantage because we are focused, we understand the dynamics between input and output. So once we get that advantage, we will be able to achieve our lives faster, okay? But when I say focus on input, not output, and you remember I said this is the cornerstone of the light year thing. What type of input do we need? And that type of input is what I have encapsulated and qualified as the wisdom of unprecedented progress. So these are the things that you need in order for you to achieve a light year. I'm going to give you the wisdom of unprecedented progress. And I'm telling you, it's going to be wonderful. I want people to join. I want more people to join because I don't want people to miss this thing. I don't want people to miss this thing. Okay. Let's all. Okay, the wisdom of unprecedented progress. Can we all type that in the comment section? The wisdom of unprecedented progress. The wisdom of unprecedented progress. Let's all type that. I'm even typing that myself. The wisdom of unprecedented progress. Can we type that? The wisdom of unprecedented progress. Can we all type that? The wisdom of unprecedented progress. I'm going to give you some things. The wisdom of unprecedented progress. I'm about to give you the deep insights. The people who joined at the beginning and decided, and if you joined at the beginning and decided to leave, now we've come to the real stuff of it. Okay? So the wisdom of unprecedented progress. I'm giving us 1 minute. Can we all type that? The wisdom of unprecedented progress. The wisdom of unprecedented progress. Okay? The wisdom of unprecedented progress. Now let me go on, okay? Perfect. Thank you, Richmond. Thank you, Satina. Thank you, Osef Usu. Thank you, David. Thank you, Klena. Thank you. I want us to all be typing that, okay? Now let's look at this. I'm going to give us some wisdom pieces that is going to give us unprecedented progress. And then once we have these things, we are going to experience the light here. Because remember that all of these things I'm about to show you are only inputs. That means that there are things you're supposed to be doing. That input will give you the advantage. And once you have that advantage, then you'll be able to experience the light here because you will have unprecedented progress within your life. And these are the things that I encountered. I'm going to give you some of them and then everything is going to change. Number one, the first wisdom of unprecedented progress, and you can write this down, is the wisdom of the destination. Please write this down. I need you to have your notebook at this point. I need you to have the notebook at this point because we're about to enter into another thing. The wisdom of the destination. These are the inputs that you need, or the ways you're supposed to be thinking, or the ways you're supposed to be acting within. Okay? The wisdom of the destination. This is the first one. The wisdom of the destination. Now, I already told you at the beginning. You see, everything that I've told you, when I speak, everything that I say, it's not disjointed, it's connecting. I told you at the beginning that life is not a race, it's a journey, and every journey has a destination. So the very first thing that you need is something called the wisdom of the destination. When Jesus was introduced into the scene, when it was time for him to be able to now, when it was time for Jesus to be able to now begin his actual mandate, Jesus already knew his destination, which was the cross. You're not catching me. That is one of the wisdom that you need, especially it's one of the wisdoms that you need, especially if you want to have a light here. The wisdom of the destination. You see, the speed of light is the speed of vision. If you cannot see the destination, you cannot get there. How can you be running to something that you cannot see? If you are trying to move with speed, you cannot move fast to something that you cannot see. Imagine we are going somewhere and then we say, okay, imagine you just enter your car and then you are just driving. You don't have nowhere to go. You just be driving and you can be going fast, but because you have no destination, you end up nowhere. The wisdom of the destination is what you're supposed to have. Now, I want you to understand this. There are two types of destination. There are two types of destination, and I want to qualify this. Number one, there's something called ultimate destination, and number two, there's something called milestone destination. Write this down. Number one, there's something called ultimate destination, and number two, there's something called milestone destination. You see, ultimate destination is that ultimate place that you want to be. It's that ultimate picture. For example, you want to be able to achieve the wisdom of the destination. Yes, the wisdom of the destination. For example, you want to be able to achieve something, okay, like, let me just use something like $1 million, right? Let's say that's the ultimate destination for now, okay? But the ultimate destination in reality is deeper. It's like where you are finally supposed to be in life, okay? But let me just make this practical using this small example. You're trying to make $1 million. Now, if that is your goal, to make $1 million, there are significant milestones, like maybe your first 10K, then your 100K, then your 250K, then your 50K. I'm not saying move like that with that kind of speed, because some of you can even just do one deal and make $1 million. But all of those things are goals that people set. So your milestone destination are what people interpret to be goals. But ultimately, it's supposed to take them somewhere. You see, I need to understand this. When Jesus was on the cross, because he knew that he had a destination, and the destination was to be the savior for men. The guy was there, they were knocking nails into his hand, but then he was able to endure the pain. Listen, guys, the reason why the wisdom of the destination is here is because if you do not understand the wisdom of the destination, if you encounter challenges and pain within your year, you will not be able to endure it. The wisdom of destination is the wisdom of understanding pain endurance. My God. My God. Listen, people, you see, when in the law of refraction, when light encountered the medium, you see that it bended, boom. The medium can be seen as your pain. I'm telling you, you experience challenges within the year. The light year advantage, when I'm saying you're supposed to be moving at the speed of light, doesn't mean that your life is going to be absent of challenges. No, challenges will be there. Yes, obstacles will be there. Yes, pain will be there. But guess what? The wisdom of the destination is the wisdom of pain endurance. Write that down. Write that down. The wisdom of the destination is the wisdom of pain endurance. The wisdom of the destination is the wisdom of pain endurance. So you want to have a particular picture in your mind. Anywhere that you can't see, do not expect to be. Anywhere that you can't see, do not expect to be. Let me say that again. Anywhere that you cannot see, do not expect to be. Anywhere that you cannot see, do not expect to be. Okay? That is the wisdom of the destination. Anywhere, can you write that down? Anywhere that you cannot see, you cannot be. The wisdom of the destination. So you want to have a particular place of where you want to be. Because if you want to move with the speed of light, if you cannot see, I wrote something somewhere on one of my posts. I was like, for example, you see, anybody can run fast too. Anybody. Imagine I put off the light and you're running. Like, imagine you're running fast and the light went off. Now, because there's no light around you, because there's no light around, you're now in darkness. Now when you're running fast, you can be running fast too, but you'll be colliding. You not even feel comfortable to run fast in the dark. Have you ever seen somebody running fast in the dark before? Because they know that they may hurt themselves. It's the same thing. You cannot experience a light, yeah, if you are running fast without light. So the very first light thing that you need to understand is the wisdom of the destination. Anywhere that you cannot see, do not expect to be. That's the wisdom of the destination. The wisdom of destination is the wisdom of pain endurance. Jesus understood that, so because he had a destination, he could endure all the pain. He could endure people calling him a liar. He could endure people calling him fake. He could endure people calling him all sorts of names. The reason why you give up, the reason why you give up on your way to success, and the reason why you cannot move with the speed that you are moving with, is because you let other people's words enter into your brain. And the reason why when other people's words enter into your brain is because you don't have the wisdom of the destination. It is time for you to be able to position yourself in a way whereby you have a destination. Once you have the destination, you'll be able to go somewhere. You can't just sit inside a car and then you're just driving nowhere. No, if I know that I'm going to the Accra mall, I'm going to a particular mall, I just have to drive my car all the way there. So, and you know that, okay, depending on the time, if for example, if I had a meeting at a particular building and that's my destination, because I know that the time is ticking, I'll now be moving faster. You see, I'll move on to something, okay? I'll move on to another thing. The wisdom of the destination. I don't want to go ahead of myself. You need to figure out where you are trying to be. So the first thing is this. The first thing is this, guys. Have the wisdom of destination. And the wisdom of destination is twofold: ultimate destination and what? Milestone destination. So what you want to do is this. You want to have an ultimate picture of where you want to be. Then you want to create milestones, okay? So, for example, you are trying to be the biggest speaker in Africa. All right, if that's your goal, or in Ghana, or you're trying to be the biggest MC in Ghana, maybe your first milestone could be you're trying to do 10 corporate events at the beginning. You're trying to do 10 corporate events within the first quarter. It's a milestone. So when you reach there, you know that, okay, I am getting closer to my goal. Everybody here, the wisdom of destination means that you have to set milestones so that you know that you are moving fast. If you don't have a milestone, I'm telling you, you will just be there, you just be doing things in your life, and then you don't know that you are actually achieving something. You need to have milestones. The milestones now serve as the benchmarks to success. So if you want to experience a light here, you should have something called milestone destinations. Have milestones for everything that you are trying to achieve. That's the very first thing. Milestones, okay? Milestones, okay? So what you want to do is set the ultimate picture. So maybe you want to be the biggest doctor, most popular doctor, or whatever. I don't know what your destination is. Set a bigger picture. That's your ultimate destination. And then you have to set milestones. Milestone destination. So that when you get there, you know that you're making speed. Because you see, light, when you say a light here, is within a year. So like you know that you're like you know that you're running. Otherwise, if you cannot have benchmarks to know whether you're making progress, you'll not be able to make progress. And that's why I call it the wisdom of unprecedented progress, because you need to be able to track that progress. And that's what milestones do for you. Are you with me? Okay. That's what you call the wisdom of milestone destination. So let me give you a few questions so that you can be able to answer. I want to give you a few questions so that you are able to answer. Or you're able to you're able to define what your ultimate destination is. I want to be able to give you that. I want to give you things or 3 points. Okay. Number one thing, if you want to find your ultimate destination, is this: you need to do self-reflection. You want to reflect on what you are, where exactly you're trying to be. Number two is that you want to be able to have a time. You want to be able to have a time frame, or you want to have a. I'm coming, a minute. You want to reflect, then you want to set that bigger picture. Okay, you want to ask yourself, what exactly do I want to achieve? Now after that, you want to break that bigger picture into different small goals. Okay, break it down. Okay, and those ones should be specific. Those ones should have milestone, have time. You see, the ultimate destination do not have a time for that. You can't really have a time for that. But the milestones are the ones that allow you to move fast. So what you do is that you have to set milestones, because the milestones are supposed to relate to the destination. So it's not just regular goals that you're setting. You are setting things that allow you to achieve the ultimate destination. That's how to have the first wisdom for unprecedented progress. Number two thing is something called the wisdom of an agenda. That's what this one is deep. Somebody said the wisdom of an agenda. Let's type that down. The wisdom of an agenda. Listen, when I found out the wisdom of an agenda, I was a different human being. You see, if you don't have an agenda, you'll be in somebody else's agenda. I don't know how many of you have heard of this thing before called Agenda 2063. It's something that is put up so that Africa can be able to get to a particular place. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Agenda 2063. Anybody? Agenda 2063. If you've heard it, just say me. Agenda 2063. Should I Google it for you? You see, the School of Lumen, I'm trying to enlighten all of you. All right. So if you don't know it, that's fine. But I'm going to show you what it is. Okay. Agenda 2063. Let's search it. Okay. Look at this. Look at what it says. Agenda 2063 is a blueprint and a master plan for transforming Africa into a global powerhouse of the future. Now, I want you to understand that this was put together by the AU. And it's something that all economists are talking about. They are talking about Agenda 2063, especially African, especially African economists. They're speaking every day, Agenda 2063, Agenda 2063. Now, the reason is this. You see, when these people bring together these kind of plans, they could have called it the Africa's Vision 2063, but they used a particular word, agenda. Agenda, the wisdom of an agenda. You see, a lot of people have goals. Normal people have goals. If you want to experience a light year, you should not only have a goal and a vision, you should have something called an agenda. Oh my God, Father, help me explain this to people. Now, you see, when I'm talking about an agenda, I'm not talking about you having an agenda of items. No. I'm talking about you having motives and intention, a plan. Like, have you heard that the agenda boy, agenda girl? It's like you have this particular motive. Oftentimes, an agenda is hidden and concealed. It is a wisdom. It's not every time you can share your goals to people, but never share your agenda. Me, I have an agenda. And if you are here, you should have an agenda. You should have an agenda. An agenda, you see, a goal is telling you where you are trying to be. An agenda is telling you why you are trying to be there. Agenda is not you see, a purpose and an agenda are almost alike, but they're not the same thing. A purpose is like the ultimate thing, an agenda is like a sub thing, almost like the ultimate destination. But An agenda is a lower resolution of purpose. So it's not just like the why, you're trying to find why you're trying to succeed. An agenda. So, for example, when you have the wisdom of an agenda, you see, all the rich people that you see, that's why you hear people give all these conspiracy theories about Bill Gates and all these people. It's all because they believe that those people have an agenda. So every decision that they take is supposed to be leading up to something. When Bill Gates started buying lands, they're like, oh, this guy's up to an agenda. He's buying farmlands and stuff. It's because they know that he has an agenda. But how come great people have an agenda, but you do not have an agenda? An agenda should be a deeper why and a reason by which you take your steps. Listen to me. It's a reason why and a reason why you take your steps. Let me say that again. An agenda is simply, for me, is an intention, is a motive, or is a reason why, and is a reason why, number one, and it's also a reason why you take your steps. So when you have an agenda, you are not just joining. For example, if I have an agenda and I join a particular company, if I'm trying to be a big entrepreneur, and I'm like, okay, I want to achieve this, but maybe I have to go and join a certain company and understand how they operate things so that I can be able to learn how to operate my business too. So you are going there not as an employee per se, but you are going there as somebody who has an agenda. So you are not just taking a decision or taking a step. You are not just taking an action. You're not just taking action, but you are taking something that I call agendized action. Action with an agenda. So do not just take action. If you want to have a light here, do not just be taking action. Be taking action with an agenda. You will be in somebody else's agenda. If you do not have an agenda, you'll be in somebody else's agenda. A lot of you have goals, you have plans, you have all of that, but you've not put together your agenda. Write your agenda today. It's the wisdom of an agenda. Do not share your agenda with people. Have your agenda. So when you go and do a master's degree, it's not because you're just going to do a master's degree. It's because you have an agenda. You see, the wisdom that I'm sharing with you are things that God gave me that I was able to use to be able to explode my life. I was a complete nobody. Nobody knew who I was. I came from obscurity to limelight. And I'm coming to you move greater heights because of the stuff that I'm sharing you. Everything that I'm sharing you is the blueprints by how I'm living my life and how I'm going to be able to scale my life. And how everybody look at this. Not just about look at this. I need to understand this. Let me open this. Let me open Romans. Where's Romans? Romans, fantastic. Romans 12:12. Let me open this. Okay, Romans 12:12. Romans 12:12. I mean 12:2. I think so. 12:2. Romans 12:2. Sorry. Romans 12:12. Oh. Romans 12:2. I don't know why my thing is being so slow. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I just hope you can hear me. Because my network seems to be so slow. I'm wondering why.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me, Clenam?
Yeah, I can hear you, Folson.
Okay, great. Romans 12:2. Look at this. Romans 12:2. It says what? Do not, and I like how NIV has put it. It says, do not be conformed to the world. In fact, it says, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Look at this part. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. That means that we are not supposed to do things like the world. Our results are not supposed to be like the people of the world. You cannot reduce your standard to those people's standards. That is why you're not supposed to be competing with people. That is why life is not a race and life is a journey. Because you cannot conform yourself to the standards of the world. You cannot conform yourself to the standards of the world. Okay? You cannot conform yourself to the standards of the world. New Living Translation. It says, I love that. Thank you, Richard. Okay? Thank you, Richard. My God. Jesus Christ. This is too deep. Look, guys, look at this one. Look at this one. Let me zoom in and come here. Look at this one. Look at this. Look at this. Do not copy the behavior and the customs of the world. Oh my God. Oh my God. You see, this is what I'm talking about. When everybody else, you see, the reason why this is a light year is that, you see, people have ordinary years, but for you to have a light year, you have to be different. The Bible says, do not copy other people. In other words, just do not copy other people. If everybody is taking action, if you want to experience a light year, you should have agendized action. In other words, you should have action with an agenda. Every step that you take from now should be pointing to a bigger picture. That's why I put the wisdom of destination first and the wisdom of agenda next. Because once you take decisions or steps in line with your destination, it's not supposed to just be, I'm just trying to achieve a goal. No. It should be an agenda. You are supposed to be achieving something, a bigger picture. You should have an agenda of how you're trying to do something. Have an agenda. Yes, you should have an agenda. Otherwise, you will be in somebody else's agenda. You see, the people who don't have their own agendas, everything else in the world controls them. Let me not go too deep into this, but you need to find a why as to why you are doing everything. A why, like a short. You see, an agenda and a purpose. A purpose is the ultimate why. This is just like a why. You see, listen. Let me say it this way: a purpose is a why for your life. An agenda is a why for the mission. Oh my God. Should I say that again? A purpose is the why for your life, or for the why for your destiny. And then an agenda is the why for the mission. That means you have a mission and there's a why for that particular mission. Are you understanding? Perfect. Number 3 is something called the wisdom of post-analysis. So number 1 thing is what? We are going. I'm telling you that 4 or 5, you see some stuff. Number 1 is what? The wisdom of a destination. Number 2, the wisdom of an agenda. You have to have an agenda. It's not enough to have goals. Everybody's writing goals. Everybody's taking action. If you should not be just that, you should not copy them. New Living Translation, do not copy them. Have your agenda. Everybody is going to school, right? You are going to pharmacy school, but you have an agenda. Everybody is going to do business. You're also doing business, but you are there because you have an agenda. There's a bigger why. I always tell people that if you cannot find your why, success will tell you. And I always tell people that if you find your why, success can never tell you bye. That means that if I can find my why, success is always going to be around me. I can have a light year. One of the major differences between people who are successful or who continue to have a lot of success, like, have you ever realized, have you ever tried to wonder, have you ever wondered why some people have success in their life? And it's not just that they keep on recreating it. It's like every time they keep on recreating that kind of success that they want. It's not because of anything, just because they have a why and you don't. So whenever you start, you stop. But when they start and they encounter a block, they don't stop. They continue going. It's not because of anything. It's all because they have a why. A why is a deeper thing. It's a deeper reason. If you can find a reason deeper than everybody else, you can have a success higher than everybody else. And it's not even about people, but I'm trying to tell you something, that the reason or the why is the major differentiation. So now number 3 is something called the wisdom of post-analysis. I'm telling you, these things I'm going to give, these things already. For example, if you have the destination in mind, now you can run fast. Now, if you have an agenda, your actions are now calculated. You see, people tell you to take calculated risks, but they never tell you to take calculated actions. So people are just, they tell you, start. Hey, please, when you have an agenda, you don't just run and start, but you like you take is within an agenda. You have to find a why before you take the action. This is the wisdom of the right here. Okay, the wisdom of post analysis. Please now listen to me. Listen. People who are able to achieve, people of progress are people of analysis. A person who analyzes, or a person who can analyze, is the person who will win the prize. a person who can analyze is the person who can win the prize. I need you to understand this. If I can analyze, I will get the prize. In other words, the price of life, the price I'm going to get at the destination. You see how when people are running, as you see, I said life is not a race by a gym, but you see when people are running the race of life, in normal races, Olympics and things, they at the end of the way give them a medal. If you want to get that medal at the end, you have to be a person of analysis. What do I mean by this? Then again, it takes me to this. Then again, it takes me to Genesis once more. Genesis chapter 1 once more. Look at this. It says what? In the beginning, God again created the heavens and the earth. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh my God. It says, now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. You see, before God decided to bring a solution, which was light, he had to hover over the waters. In other words, he had to see what was happening. God had already defined the problem. He had already defined that, oh, it's formless, it's empty, it's dark. And he had analyzed, his spirit was hovering over the waters. Oh my God. Does that tell you something? If you want to be able to create success, or you want to be able to move with speed, you want to move at the speed of light, you need to be able to do analysis. Not just any form of analysis, you need to do something called post-analysis. Why am I saying this? You see, you are a sum total of the kind of experiences you've had in your life. So if your experiences have contributed to you being here, you've only had ordinary years, the only way by which you can have a light here is by analyzing the things that have happened in the past, analyzing the problems of stuff that you've encountered. Why is it that when I went through the year, I didn't achieve extraordinary success? I didn't have unprecedented progress. It's because you've not yet been a person of analysis. And a person of analysis, what I tell you, anyone who can analyze will win the prize. The reason you've not gotten the prize is because you've not decided to analyze. Analysis is a wisdom that is going to give you unprecedented progress. I'm going to finish in the next 15 minutes. So I'm going to go fast, okay? So the wisdom of post-analysis. Go back into your life and audit your life. Ask yourself, why wasn't I able to achieve success within my year? Like, why didn't I achieve an extraordinary year? So, you look at your experiences, or you understand. All of us had goals. If you didn't achieve your goals last year or your vision last year, I want you to go back and give yourself post-analysis. It is the only way you can have speed. The wisdom of post-analysis. Okay, I've said that is enough. Okay, I'm sure, and the reason why I brought this is because God Himself did analysis. He did post-analysis. He hovered over. You see, the reason why I'm using these things is because the Bible is not just a book. The Bible is a book of patterns. That means that if there are already patterns laid out there, all I have to do is discover the pattern and follow suit. That is why the Bible has a principle, is a pattern that says you can only reap what you've sowed. So that what you sow. So what that means is that that's a pattern. So even unbelievers can engage that principle and it works for them. That means that if anybody else who is outside the realm of the Bible, you see that great people do a lot of analysis and reflection. You are not doing that. How do you expect? I mean, we even spoke about the law of reflection. It's a character of light. You need to be somebody who is reflecting, analyzing, looking deep into what put you there. Okay, I don't want to go too deep into this. You get the wisdom already. The wisdom of post-analysis. I didn't say post-analysis. Look back into your life, analyze certain things. Number 4 thing, the wisdom of the gap. Okay, now I'm entering into something. Okay, look at this. You see, if you want to be able to move with speed, or you want to have a year, you want to be able to have a lot of progress in your life in 2025 and beyond, you have to have the wisdom of the gap. What is the gap? What is the gap? What is the gap? What is the gap? The gap. Now I want you to understand this. You see, success is characterized by opportunities. Progress is characterized by opportunities. If you want to be able to achieve more, you remember the light year. I want you to understand this, by the way. When I talk about light year and I'm talking about speed, speed has a particular formula. Okay, and I just want to backtrack quickly to this because I didn't really talk about it. Speed has a particular formula, which is distance over time. Okay, in science, okay, distance over time. Now, this is the difference between them, okay? Speed is how fast you are going. Distance is how far you are going. Time is how long it took you to get there. 3 things. Speed is how fast you are going. Distance is how far you are going. Time is how long it takes you to get there. So the light year advantage, you see, the light year, if you look at the light year, is more about distance. In other words, it's more about the number of things you are able to accomplish within a given time period. So, for example, for me, when I understood this, one of the ways and let me just tell you this, okay? One of the ways I was able to use the light year advantage is because I started to do something, is that I started doing something called collapsing the time frames. That's what allowed me to move fast, and I achieved unprecedented progress. For example, I looked within the space, the public speaking space, and I realized that, okay, if I want to become a very good public speaker, I want to be one of the best. And I'm giving people my secret now, okay? What I did was this. I looked at the space, I was like, okay, I'm in this space now. If I want to be able to achieve unprecedented progress, what do I do? I looked at the top, the best speaker, and I was like, okay, she organized 2 workshops in 1 year. I'm like, okay. That means that in 2 years, that means that the progress that she'll achieve in 2 years will be 4 workshops, assuming she should move at that space, like at that steady space. Then I realized that, okay, what I need to do is that I need to collapse the time frames. Instead of having 2 workshops in 1 year or just 1 workshop in 1 year, I started to have 4 workshops in 1 year. So now I had increased my speed. So now I was moving at the speed of light because now I collapsed my time frames into 1. So typically, if the average public speaker organizes 1 workshop a year, I was organizing 4 workshops in a year. Why won't I get more results? Why won't people know me more? Why won't I be getting booked more? Why can't I charge more? It's because I've collapsed the time frames into 1. But now there's something called the wisdom of the gap. And I told you, success is characterized by opportunities. Progress is characterized by opportunities. That means that the only way to make progress is to be able to capitalize on an opportunity. Now, an opportunity presents itself, but sometimes all opportunities, if you want to have real speed, you need something called a gap. If you want to have a lot of progress, you need something called a gap. Now, a gap is what is going to allow you to be able to move with, like, it's going to give you a lot of progress. Because listen to this. You see, a gap is simply the intersection between a pattern and a trend. I almost drew a Venn diagram. I forgot to do it. So if you have a Venn diagram, you see the Venn diagram, it has 2 circles. So both of the circles, in between that circle, no, over at the left side I can write pattern, at the right side I can write trend. Over there in the middle is a gap. But the entire market, maybe if I draw a bigger circle all around all of them, it's called an opportunity. Within an opportunity, there are patterns, there are trends, but there's also a gap. These are the three listen to me. I've said this. I want you to get the wisdom of this. Within every opportunity are three things: a pattern, a trend, and a gap. Let me say this again. Within every opportunity are three things: a pattern, a trend, and a gap. Instead, what many people do is that when they come to a space, they try to copy the trend in order to be able to succeed. That is fine. You can copy that. You copy the trend. You can also copy the pattern. The pattern is different from a trend. A trend is something that comes and goes. A pattern is something that is recurring among people for a longer period of time. So you may want to copy, maybe there are particular ways that people do a particular thing. I mean, when I came on LinkedIn, I saw a pattern of how people were posting. First, I listened to people using their pictures and their faces a lot rather than other things. So I was like, that's a pattern. Okay. Then I saw there's a trend. People are doing this particular thing is a trend. But the way to be able to win is to be able to, the wisdom of speed is this. You're not going to neglect the patterns. I'm not trying to tell you don't follow trends. No, follow trends. Trends can make you big. It can give you speed. However, the wisdom that is going to give you the light speed is also going to be a gap. A gap is the difference between the pattern and the trend. It's that space that nobody is literally operating in. So for me, I look at the public speaking space. Then again, I'm using myself because I'm the best person to use for my. I don't know who else to use. I look at public speaking space. I was like, people are building their brand here. Let me start building on LinkedIn. That was a gap. I started building my gap there. Boom. The rest was open doors. And it's because and that allowed me to get what? Speed. The same thing with you. The wisdom of the gap. Within your space, there is a gap that you are not, that is there. And the only reason you are not seeing the gap is because you are not paying attention to the opportunity enough. The moment you begin to pay attention to opportunity enough, you begin to critically analyze the opportunity, you will find the gap. So the very first thing is to recognize an opportunity. If you don't recognize, my alarm has just gone, I just come on, so that means that I'll have to be ending shortly. You're supposed to first of all recognize the opportunity, because within every opportunity is a gap. So many people are trying to find gaps in places that are not opportunities. Does that make sense? Some people just go and look for something and they're trying to find a gap within a place where the opportunities are not a lot. No, find a place with an opportunity. Once you find that opportunity, you look for the gap within that space. Okay, so the opportunity could be any place, any market. If you're running a business, like that's what you want to do. The wisdom of the gap is going to give you space. You want to be able to find a particular gap and then go through it. Find the gap and run with the gap. Okay, let me move on. So that's the wisdom of the gap. The wisdom of the gap. So this is going to give you a lot of speed when you move at the wisdom of the gap. Find opportunities. Not just find opportunities, but within the opportunities, find the thing that a lot of people within your space are not doing. Okay, because remember, it said what? Do not conform. Or New Living Translation said, do not copy others. So I mean, within this context, a pattern and trend, you are using that as a leverage. But your additional thing that gets you going is going to be the gap. The moment you get the gap, you see that people will look at you within the space. Everybody has a kind of success, but your success is unprecedented. Your progress is unprecedented because you are not just chasing after what they are doing. You also have a gap. Okay, let me move to this. Okay. Number 5. This one is killer. The wisdom of the needle mover. Hey, this is going to give you a lot of speed. Listen to me. Write this down. Elevation comes from participation. If you want to move fast, you need to participate. If you want to elevate, you have to participate. Participate doing something. Okay. Let me just keep that there. Now look at this. The wisdom of the needle mover is what changes everything. Now look at this. The reason I call it the needle mover is like, I'm sure you've probably heard that statement before. The person who moves the needle is like the person who is the most significant within a space. If you're trying to achieve unprecedented progress within a year, what you're supposed to do is this: surround yourself around people who are called needle movers. If you don't have enough needle movers around you, forget trying to have unprecedented progress. I don't say forget it, but you not have that light speed, the speed of light I'm talking about. No, you need the wisdom of the needle mover. People are so important in your destiny. The wisdom of the needle mover. Can we just write this one down? This one is so critical. Like when I found this, I was like, my God. Now the wisdom of the needle mover is this. You want to have, you want to have, you want to have, you want to have three people. You want to have two major people around you within any space that you are in. Number one, you want to have role model figures, and number two, you want to have industry heavyweights. Role model figures and industry heavyweights. The wisdom of the needle mover. Listen, you see, if God wants to elevate you, one of the things that He will do is that you there are some people, because you see, that's why my God, that's why this scripture was so important. That's why this scripture was so important. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's why this scripture was so important. Isaiah 60 verse 3. And you see, I have only six. I have only six. This thing, six wisdom. I think it's seven wisdom to show number 5. So we're about to end. Okay, so I just want you to get this wisdom and precedented progress. And guys, listen to this. Because you see, if you want to move fast this year, you need to be able to understand certain things. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, look at this. Isaiah 60 verse 3. Look, and by the way, Isaiah 60 verse 1, 2 is also one of our anchor scriptures. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of God rises upon you. If you want glory to come, you have to identify that your light has come. I'm telling you. Anyway, forget this. Let's go into this. Look at this. It says, nations will come to your light and the kings to the brightness of your dawn. That means that, you see, one of the ways by which people can get elevated is when they are around kings. In other words, royals. In other words, industry heavyweights. The people who can lift you into positions are the people who are in the places where they can mention your name. If you are not around people who can, I'm not saying your friends, I'm talking about have these people within your network. People, the wisdom of the needle mover, is like the people who can, you see, for example, like there are some people who can just say, in other words, the wisdom of the needle mover is about you having access. Okay. There are some people who can just make a call, okay, and just say, hello, imagine you're around, for example, there was somebody who I was going to speak somewhere and I couldn't make it to that place. So I just told, oh, hello, can this guy come and speak in my place? And the person just went to speak and it's like an elevation for the person. Now imagine the person who I sent to go and speak at that place wasn't associated with me. How would the person even get that opportunity to pursue that person's public speaking opportunities and dreams? It's because the person was around a needle mover, which was me. In the same way, I am also around other needle movers. So the reason I'm able to get my first public speaking opportunities is because I was around people. I mean, nobody's success is standalone. What you should do is that you want to intentionally be around needle movers in 2025, 2026, in your years going in. Okay? The wisdom of the needle mover. You need to be around people who are called needle movers, people who are industry heavyweights and people who are role model figures. These people, industry heavyweights, you're trying to do something, even within or not just even industry heavyweights. Let me use this word. Let me say this, people of key or relevance, people of relevance. Now you could be within an office. If you want to be able to experience exponential progress, or unprecedented progress, you better start being on the good side of your boss, because he is the needle mover.
He's the one that will progress, who will tell you that, hey, Akosia Mansa, the only way you are going to be, he's the only person who can just move you from 10,000 CD salary or 5,000 CD salary to 12,000 CD salary. He is the needle mover. So if you are trying to move at the speed of light, your entire goal should be moving around people who are needle movers. Build a network of needle movers. And the way to be able to do that is to participate in their lives. You want to give them something. That's why I told you elevation comes from participation. If you are not giving anything to them, do not expect to be able to let them elevate you. No, 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 no. The wisdom of the needle mover is you participating within the industry, within the relevant people. You want to participate within their lives, contribute something, help out. If you can't contribute, help with something. That is the wisdom of the needle mover. I'm telling you. So what you're trying to do is this. You have to identify the opportunity. Number one, that's what I've already told you about the wisdom of the gap. Okay, so identify the opportunity. Once you identify the opportunity, you have to identify the key people in the opportunity. Identify the key people in the opportunity. Get acquainted with them. Get to know them. Not to just also get to know them. Help out. Participate within their lives. Once you have these four things, you'll be able to move at the speed of light. Because what will happen is that now, because you're on the good side of them, I'm telling you, your elevation and your light here will be fast. So you see that. So for example, like, what do I mean? If you're an MC, you want to be able to get people who are relevant. In other words, people who organize events. You want to build a network of them. That is the only way by which you can elevate your progress within your career. Build a network of those people, robust network. Me, I have a network of a lot of people who also organize events. So what I mean, I'm also building my visibility. But now, when I get to speak somewhere, now all these people are organized. So when it's time for their next event and they're trying to pay somebody, they're trying to call somebody, who are they going to call? They're going to call me because they're within my network. I'm within their sphere of influence. I'm one of the first people they think about. It's because those people are called needle movers. The needle movers are the people who have the ability to help you progress within your sphere of influence. If you don't have enough needle movers around you, I'm telling you, success will never be magneted to you. You see, needle is like a metal, success is like a magnet. I already told people that, you see, in God's equation of success, you don't chase success gravitates towards you. That means that if you have to be around needle movers so that when the magnet of success is pulling, you can get closer. Once you're close to the needle, they'll pull you along. That is the wisdom of the needle mover. Today, understand and make everything, build a robust network of needle movers. I'm not saying throw away your friends or cut off your friends. That's not what I'm talking about. Just build a robust network of needle movers within your industry, within your space, within your office, within wherever you are. If it's your church and you're trying to move from something to something, you want to be closer to your pastor. If you want to move in, so whatever space you are in, you want to get closer to the people who are moving the needle. Yes, that is how to do it. It's an advantage. That is what the lighting advantage is about. This is the inputs I'm talking about. You see, the inputs, these are all of the inputs. Okay. Now, finally, not finally, but number 6, if you want to move with speed, this is the number one determinant of somebody who's really hungry for success. Urgency. I told you, speed is not about rushing blindly, it's about having focused urgency. The moment you have focused urgency, everything changes. This is what is going to give you a light here. I want you to understand this. There's a timer on your life. You are bound to expire. The timer can go off. Have you ever set an alarm before? Everybody here sets alarms, I guess, I hope. You set an alarm for 6 o'clock. Or you set an alarm, like, for example, when you're writing exams, okay? There's a time they give you, 2 hours. Now, the scary thing about life is this. You don't know the number of time that the invigilator or the examination setter has put on your life. Oh my God. You don't know the amount of time. You see, when you're writing exams, you know that, okay, I have 2 hours. So because of the 2 hours, you know how to strategize. But you do not know the amount of time that you have taken on your life. You don't know it. You start that you're writing an exam, they'll say 5 minutes more, 30 minutes more. You say, hey, then you write it faster. It's because now that the time is going, you're now moving with urgency. Listen, I don't care where you are. Everybody who succeeded was moving with urgency. I see people, I will go into that some other time, okay? The wisdom of urgency, you need to have an aggressive sense of urgency. Because you don't know when the timer is going on your life. Oh. You can expire anytime. So why aren't you moving with speed? Why aren't you attacking your goals? There's a book that I read. Okay, I want to remember the full title. Oh, essentially, it was about this woman who was doing palliative care. I'll find the title and I'll give it to you. And essentially, I think, yeah. I just want to find the title so I give it to all of you. Oh my God. When I'll put the book I'll put the book on the community. I'll put the book on the community. I'm forgetting the name right now. I'm forgetting the name of the book right now. Okay. But what happened was that they were asking the old people, okay, like these are elderly people, what are their top 5 regrets in life? And some of them were saying that, oh, they should have done this earlier. I don't know how many of you have ever had that thing whereby you think through maybe your university days or something, you're like, I should have done so and so. I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this. It's because at the time you realized that urgency was needed, but you did not have that sense of urgency. You need to carry that out if you are trying to have a fast year, a light year. You need to have a sense of urgency, a deeper sense of urgency than everybody else. Are you with me, people? That is the wisdom of the urgency. There's a timer going on in your life, going off. It's ticking every time. Every time that you live, every time that you wake up, every time that you celebrate a birthday, you are blowing cake and you are eating, you are jamming with some people. That is what is happening. The timer is going, yet you are still not chasing everything. If you want to have a light here, you need to be moving with aggression. You need to be able. That's what everything is important, because the moment you start moving with an agent with urgency, everything will change. You see, anyway, let me not move into that. That's all the wisdom of urgency. Number 7 is something called the wisdom of atmosphere. The wisdom of atmosphere. This is the last one. This is the last one, and we're done. The wisdom of atmosphere. The wisdom of atmosphere. The wisdom of atmosphere. Now, when I'm talking about your atmosphere, I'm talking about 2 major things. Okay? Now, I'm talking about your environment, okay? The people that you are around, right? Now, it's not, now, the one I want to focus on, okay, number one is that, what I want you to do is this, okay? I want you to have the atmosphere I'm talking about is let me put it this way. It's not just in terms of the people that you are working with, but in terms of let me put it like this, okay? So the law of environment, okay? You see, the people that you are around, what the people they say was you are the sum total of the 5 people that you are around. So that is number 1, your physical atmosphere. The one that I want to hammer on, number 2, is your digital atmosphere. This one will give you speed. I'm telling you. Let me hold my mic this time, okay? This is like top your digital atmosphere. You see, what I did, one of the things that I did was that when I was trying to make a lot of progress within my life in 2021, for some period I went off social media. But I didn't go off social media. I just went off my main account, which had my friends. I created an account, okay? Another account, spy account, Finsta. I did. And that account, I was only following people who were successful, who were inspirational, people who were speaking into my life. Or people who were giving tips of wisdom or marketing, or the area that I was trying to achieve exponential progress in. The area that I was trying to experience exponential progress in. I created a digital atmosphere. You see, a lot of people, they tell you, oh, you're the sum total of the people who are around you. So what they do is that they cut some of their friends off. But when they cut some of their friends off, they are still at the same level, because when they cut their physical atmosphere, they didn't realize that we live in a world whereby your physical atmosphere doesn't even take a lot of your time. A lot of you spend more time talk on your phones than actually talking to your friends. So what that means is that you also need to regulate your digital atmosphere. The things that you see on a daily determine how you think about life. You see, the information that you get is going to determine the success that you have. So you need to be able to have you need to filter your information receiver, in order so that you can be able to produce apps. You need to condition your mind. Your digital atmosphere is so important. So what I want you to do, all of us over here, for me, I had some people, and I still have some people today, that have put on their post notifications all over social media, especially on that. Now I have that account. That account are following. Okay, hyper successful people. I'm following hyper successful people who are giving me content on information. So what you want to do is this: you want to figure out areas of your life that you want progress in. Okay, you want to figure out areas in your life. Maybe it's marketing. Maybe it's marketing. Maybe it's marketing. Maybe it's whatever. Maybe whatever space, MC, public speaking, whatever you want to achieve. And no matter the space you are in, what you want to do is that figure out those areas. Find five people. Find five people within those areas. Okay, what you want to do is that you want to find five people within those areas. Five people within those areas, and then you want to find five people within those areas, and then put on their post notifications, and make sure that you are indoctrinating your mind with the things that they tell you. So that every day you are learning something. Every day you are learning something. You see, the speed by which you can go to is dependent on the speed of information and the speed of learning by which you can be able to be on. That you can attain or that you can acquire. If you don't learn a lot, don't expect to earn a lot. I'm talking about earning. I'm not just talking about earning of cash. I'm talking about earning of opportunities. If you don't learn a lot, you cannot earn a lot. So the wisdom of atmosphere is about you being able to learn from the atmosphere that you are around. So you want to now the wisdom of atmosphere is not just digital atmosphere, not just the physical atmosphere. Now the atmosphere is actually I'm just talking about the information that you are receiving. So that means that you need to be able to start being on a radical learning journey. So the wisdom of atmosphere, or in other words, the unit of the wisdom of atmosphere is being able to learn. This year, if you really want to be able to move with speed, you need to be able to be learning a lot. Now, action is better than now. I want you to understand that action is better than action is better than knowledge acquisition. Okay, so you can get all the knowledge, but if you don't act on it, you are wasting the information. It's basically useless. So what you want to do is this. Okay, you want to be able to, first of all, you want to be able to pick books that are very, very relevant to you, read them, like be studying and be also implementing. That's what you want to do. You want to be implementing as fast, but you also want to have enough knowledge within. And I'm not talking about reading normal books like just reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. No. Read stuff, articles, read things that are in line with the kind of progress that you want to make. That is the wisdom of atmosphere. So the digital atmosphere, your physical atmosphere, your books, all those things, it contributes to who you are going to be. And that is how you're going to have a light year. So these are the 7 things, these are the ways you're going to have a light year. In other words, you're going to have unprecedented progress. Remember this, the wisdom of unprecedented progress. Number one, the wisdom of the destination. Have the destination in mind, ultimate destination, milestone destination. Number two, the wisdom of an agenda. You should not only have goals and visions, you should have an agenda in this life. If you don't have an agenda, your actions that you'll be taking will not really matter. You need to have something I call agendized action with an agenda, so that every step that you take is interconnected, and then it makes sense. Okay. All right. So the wisdom of an agenda. Now, the wisdom of an agenda, another way that I learned is because I play a lot of chess. So I've played chess since I was 11 years old. Okay. Now, so that's that's a couple of decades. Now that's some time now. Okay, that's some time now. Okay, now, and in chess, you realize that the people who have like a particular agenda and a particular thing to do something, those are the people that win, because they already have a strategy in place. I'm telling you, if you don't have an agenda, forget it. You're not going to do anything. You just be working. You just be a non-entity on the earth. People with agendas become people of greatness. Okay. The wisdom of post analysis. You want to learn how to audit your past and current, your past experiences, because those things serve as information and feedback. You see, look at this. Feedback is what? Feedback. Okay. The only way to go in front is to get feedback. The only way to move in front is to get feedback. Guys, you need to get feedback. So, post analysis, you need to be in a place of self reflection. Number four thing, you need to get the wisdom of the gap. There's a big opportunity somewhere within your space that you're not looking at. I'm telling you, this is almost like what they call the blue ocean. Okay, that's what this is about. Wisdom of the gap. You need to find the blue ocean. You need to find that there's a gap that you are missing. The moment you find the gap, I'm telling you, when you start achieving things, it will be so easy, because within that space, like there's oh my god, there's nobody. There's going to be a gap somewhere, and you want to run with that gap. Run with that the gap. Number five is the wisdom of the needle mover. This to me is so important. I want you to be around the language of power. I want you to be around the language of authority. I want you to be around the people who are going to move the needle in your life. And then finally, the wisdom of urgency. Okay, the wisdom of urgency. The wisdom of urgency is that you need to be moving fast. You need to feel the hunger. You need to feel the pain. You need to feel the discomfort. Now, the wisdom of urgency comes from the wisdom of destination. Jesus was moving with urgency. Now, I don't know if you know, but when Jesus was baptized, the Bible says, and immediately he went to the wilderness. That guy was not joking. That guy was not joking. Immediately he went to the wilderness. But some of you, you have a plan, you have something you're doing, and you are still waiting. No, you cannot. Over here in the school of Lumen, it's not about waiting for the best time to start. No. I told you there's something called action through clarity. You need to achieve that. So the wisdom of urgency, and then the wisdom of atmosphere. Okay, so the kind of things that you interact with the most. That's what I mean by your atmosphere. Because all of that, your mental atmosphere matters the most, and everything that you get, your entire atmosphere. You see, the environment does not affect your literal body, it affects your mind. I'm talking about environment in this thing. It affects your mind. For example, if you're around people, it ends up shaping your mind. So in other words, the wisdom about atmosphere is about your eternal atmosphere, how you operate, how your mind is. And the only way to do that is to be able to feed that atmosphere, make sure that atmosphere is conducive enough. That is what that is about. The wisdom of atmosphere. So once you have these things, you'll be able to have what I call a light year. You'll be able to move at the speed of light. Because especially if you have number 5 and you are so good at something, a lot of people are talented. They are just not around people who can push the talent. That is what you call the wisdom of the needle mover. A lot of you are talented, you are good at stuff, but you are just not around the people who can push you. This is what I'm talking about. Imagine this year you listen to me for the first 3 months. All you decided to do was just get around people who are needle movers. You need to start scout the system, ask people questions, go to events, go to this, look for the people within your space, and then surround yourself around needle movers. I'm telling you, before you realize, they'll just people who are needle movers, they give opportunities for breakfast. People who are needle movers, they give opportunities for breakfast. So the only way by which you can, one of the fastest ways by which you can have a light here, in other words, move with the speed of light, is to have needle movers around you. This is what I call the wisdom of the needle mover. So everything changes after here. Now remember this, guys. Remember all of stuff that we've talked about, but just remember, okay, that we are trying to have a light year. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year. So we are trying to achieve a lot of progress in 1 year. And the way you can do it is do the 7 things that I'm giving you. If you focus your energies on that, you move with urgency, you have the destination in mind, you have your agenda, you do post analysis, you do everything that I've taught to you. I'm telling you, speed will be on it. Like speed will be it's to be innovative. People ask you, see, how did you achieve all of this? This is what I call the light year advantage. So these are the 7 wisdom pieces for unprecedented progress. So this is what is going to give you the advantages. These are the inputs that you need to put inside of your life, and you get a big output. Not just an output, a big one, exponential. And everything will change for you after this. So this is what I call the light year advantage. Now, I'm trusting God. Hopefully next year we have the light year advantage 2.0. You have now. I'll share deeper stuff, and I'm going to share something, a wisdom that was given to me by somebody that I revere. I'm telling you, I'm going to show you that one's going to be deeper. I've already kind of sculpted everything in my mind for that one. But that one is likely to be in person. It's likely to be in person. So we are trusting God that we're able to do that one in person by next year. We hope, and by that time we have a bigger community. We have everything set out in place. But okay, guys, so you are welcome. This is the School of Lumen, the first edition. Our subsequent sessions, we're going to learn about how you can be able to make money on the internet, all those other practical stuff. We're going to go deeper into those things. I'll show you, I'll open my system, show you things, where to press, what tool to use, all those things. I'll show you those things are going to come. But you need to have a light here. And if you want a light here, you need to have these 7 wisdom pieces that I've given you. And once you have that, everything is going to change. Okay? Remember, your behavior will determine whether you are going to be a failure or a savior. Okay, all right. And I've given you the direction. I told you that if you lack direction, you'll be living your entire life in deception, because you'll be deceiving yourself that, oh, I'm achieving success, but you're not. So you need direction, and I've given you the direction. I told you, look for needle movers. I told you, wisdom of the atmosphere. You want to get 5 people on social media, put on their post notification, consume their content every day, so it conditions your mental atmosphere. I've given you wisdom pieces, practical things that you can do, books that you can read. In fact, let me just give you 3 books that you can read. 3 books. 3 books. Number 1 is one of my favorite books that one of my close friends gave me. It's called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. You want to read that book? 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Okay. Number 2, there's a particular book. This book is serious. It's called The Wisdom for Psychopaths. This is a secret book. I don't really tell people much about this thing. Okay. Wisdom for Psychopaths. You want to read that book? Number 2. Okay. Number 2. And number 3, I'm going to give you this book. I've never mentioned it anywhere, but it's my secret book for growth. It's called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. This is my first time mentioning that book. And that book is, if you ask me, if anybody who knows my true book list, is this book. This book is one of my most favorite books of all time. And I'm giving it to the School of Lumen because this is the first day. So the 10X Rule, read the 10X Rule, because the 10X Rule will show you how it's going to go deeper into the input and output thing that I showed you. It's going to go deeper into it. Your effort, success is your responsibility. Number 2, The Wisdom for Psychopaths. I want you to read that book. I'm giving you books that, like, Charlie, people don't really, okay? Wisdom for Psychopaths. Let me see if I can show my screen on this. And I've ended, by the way. So the wisdom, okay, so the wisdom of psychopaths, rather. So you only, yes, by Kevin Newton. Okay, so that's it, sorry. And so you want to read this book, okay? You want to read this book, The Wisdom of Psychopaths. Read this book. Read this book. Number three, The Laws of Growth, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. I want you to read those three books. This year, if you can't read any book, I've suggested a lot of books on platforms, especially this year. But this is for School of Lumen. If you're in the School of Lumen, these are the three books I'm giving you. And everything is going to change. Okay, guys, so I just want to officially welcome you to your light year. This is going to be one of the best years. And you're also welcome to the School of Lumen. Now, if you're not part of the School of Lumen, I'm going to drop the link. If you are here and you're not part of the School of Lumen, I'm going to drop the link. Um, and inside of the what do you call this thing, the community, we're going to drop an official form whereby you fill and then you get to be a part of the School of Lumen. Now I want to know that on the form we will get your email, and once we have your email we can start emailing you things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be sending free stuff, ebooks, recommendations. I'm going to be sharing like my findings with all of you. So the light here now is going to continue. So when we share the form, guys, please and please and please and please. The last book is the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. That book is wicked. Serious. Okay? It's not beside me right now, but okay. So these are the things, okay? So guys, welcome to your light here. I know you're going to have a great year. You're going to move with so much speed and everything is going to change. Remember, our anchor scripture, Matthew 5:14, you are the light of the world. So you are a light. That means that if you're a light, you're only supposed to have a light year. You cannot act outside of your nature. Your year is supposed to have unprecedented progress by nature. That's what that means. By nature, you're supposed to have unprecedented progress. You should just be moving. Even when obstacles come, you do refraction. Boom. You bend, you turn. That's what this is about. Okay? Next time I'll go deeper into everything, but we end over here. Thank you so much. My name is Paa Kwesi Folson. You can follow me on all social media platforms. I look forward to hearing you and your questions. I don't know. Glenn, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening. I've been impacted. I've learned a lot. I must say that my life has been transforming. I hope all those who were with us throughout have also learned so much. Success likes progress, but it loves speed. Stop waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
Stop waiting for the right time. You have to start now so that you make so many mistakes, you learn from them, and then you can do better. Avoid competition. Life is supposed to be a journey, not a race. Life is supposed to be a journey, not a race. The only competition you have is yourself. Try your very best to be better than who you were yesterday, and then the world is going to be your place. A light that shines from within can never be dimmed. Okay, that is something from the book Becoming by Michelle Obama. So if you are light, definitely you're going to continue to shine wherever you find yourself and behave like light, because that is who you are. We talk about reflection and refraction, the angle of incidence being equal to the angle of what? Reflection. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get results for. Input is equal to what? Output. So make sure you focus more on your input rather than the output. That is the main thing you should do. And there are so many other things we've learned, and then Folson has highlighted most of them. We have spent so much time, so I wouldn't like to, take any more time. Thank you all so much for making time to be here, regardless of your busy schedules. It was an impactful event. We hope that your life has been transformed. You're going to have a light here. You're going to move at the speed of light. And even by next week or the end of the month or the middle of the year, you're going to come back with testimonies as to how this particular event, the School of Lumen, the Light Year Advantage has transformed your life. Thank you so much for making time, and see you on the page, and then look forward to more events from the School of Lumen. My name is Beth Haminu, and then I am a moderator, I am an MC, I'm an event. If you need a moderator for your event, you can always reach out to me on social media platforms at Beth Haminu. Thank you so much, and have a good night, please.
All right. Thank you so much. See all of you
Feel free to make posts about it on social media and everything, okay? You made magic today. The light year advantage, the light year advantage. Thank you. Love all of you. Bye.
Bye, Folson.